Good evening, everybody. We are back here in Ravensport. Farming Simulator 19. We've got a dark sky, but it's only 5:40 in the morning, so forecast is sunny today. 5:40 in the morning game time, of course. Forecast is sunny. And hopefully it brightens up a little bit for everybody, because I know right now it's dark, but there's the sun. A little bit hazy. Maybe we got a little bit of overcast, because we do live on the ocean here. There's some birds in flight right up there that you can probably hardly see. Again, we'll start out the stream feeding our dog. Feeding Lady. There you are, Lady. Hope you had a good night. Hope you slept well. And, looks like I got some grass from the last time I cut the grass in the way there. And, we're gonna go ahead and cycle through and see what we got to do today. And we got our pigs. They're, doing their thing here. See if they need any water. Yeah, it's full of water. There's the train. I'll check. Since the last episode, the only thing I really did is I cut the grass around field number 7, piled it in here, and then covered it up. So I did cut some grass, and we got some silage fermenting here. It's at 3% fermented, so it'll be a while before that's ready to dump into the biogas plant. And that's okay. Hop in our truck and get going. What's up, Asa? I'm just gonna do a little bit of farming. You can see here's where I cut the grass all around the farm. So we got a field, I believe that's soybeans. Last episode we had a run on soybeans. There was high demand on soybeans, and we sold everything that we had. So we planted some soybeans after that so we could stock up our silo again. So we got 2 more fields of soybeans, it looks like, right here. And maybe even and sunflowers, I think, is what we got growing on the far field, number 13. And there are our sunflowers. Nothing's ready to harvest just yet. And that's okay. That's okay. And I'm just getting some emails. Oh, YouTube's emailing me, telling me that I'm live right now, so very nice, YouTube. Thanks for that. This is just getting off work. Thought you'd come on in to this fine establishment. Yeah, I mean, we got a beautiful view. Sun's coming up over the ocean. Or actually, that's the moon over there. Alright, now that I can see it a little closer. So the sun will be coming up soon. That's why it was a little dark. I'm like, man, it looks like there's an eclipse or something if that's supposed to be the sun. I believe that's like a full moon. I don't know. Let's fast forward time a little bit and see if we can get that sun to pop up. Let's see, that is the setting right here. So yeah, there's the moon setting right now. So that means the sun should be rising. Over there. There it is. Beautiful. Alright. Now we got the sun up. Very, very, very good. And I think I need to do some contracts is what I really need to do, because I gotta wait for my fields to be ready to harvest. I mean, I can just drive through them like that. This game, it's like pretty dead on. I mean, just like real life, the sunflowers are pointing themselves to the sun. Look at that. Beautiful. The game is pretty dead on. And we should park our car and we'll check those contracts. Looks like PlayStation's giving me that glitch again, or maybe someone's spamming or something, because in the upper right hand corner it keeps showing me that people are commenting on the thread or on the video. We got 40 comments so far according to PlayStation, and we really don't. No problem, Mesa. Thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. myself on live chat just to make sure that all that spam isn't coming through. It didn't last time, and it doesn't look like it is again, so... I'm gonna go ahead and park our truck right here in the grass, because I didn't make myself a good driveway. And let's check our contracts. What can we do today to make a few bucks? We can go fertilize field 11. I think that's what we're going to do. We could also fertilize field 2. Bunch of little fertilizing contracts. And then baling. No harvesting available now. So let's just take a look at the map and see what... There's our pigs, by the way. Looking good. Got 63 of each flavor. Michael M., did I ever figure out the thousands of comments from PS4? No, like so far I just started this out. I got 55 so far, and they're just rolling in. I did go back and I looked on my PS4 to see if I could see them afterwards. I could not. And then when I went back and watched the last stream on my, as logged into my game channel here, I wasn't able to see anything either. So I would figure like as a moderator or an owner of the channel, you'd be able to see blocked comments, but no. Just PlayStation's going nuts and firing up a bunch of comments. I have no idea why, but not gonna let it bug me, I guess. Aaron, how you doing? Mobbing in the farm truck, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get some contracts going. We just wanted to double check, and just so those watching at home know what's going on. We got a bunch of soybeans growing on 6, 7, 12, 6, 7, and 12. And then we got a bunch of sunflowers growing on 13. Let's see the growth stages. These are towards the end, nice dark green, and it looks like I missed a little patch there at the end of that field. Oh well. And then this field here, 12, was just planted. So it looks like there's a bunch of stuff growing around all over the map. Nothing's ready to harvest anywhere, which is interesting. And did we double fertilize everything yet? We have. So we have nothing to do on our farms until harvesting. So that means we're free to go work for others. We're going to go right up to the top here, accept the contract to go fertilize field 11. Beautiful. Now let's go cycle through to find something to go fertilize. Mikey, how you doing? Mantic Coins told you that your AU Peace Dollar might be a VAM 1 or a VAM 2 or a VAM 3. Okay. Are any of those better VAMs? I don't know. Well, I guess while we're here with this fertilizer sprayer, we should just go ahead and clean up the pigs, which you just pick up the food they spill. And again, we figured this out last time we played, maybe the time before. That pile of pig food spilled at the end, I can't clean up, because that's on a different property. I built this pig enclosure right on the line between fields 7 and 8, or between the biogas plant in field 8, and it allowed me to place it because I owned field 8 at the time. And then when I sold field 8, I lost the ability to scoop up stuff off of that land, so I can't get my pigs up to 100% clean, because that pile of dirt, see the middle of the road there, it's right on the other side of the property line. I screwed up, basically, long story short. But I'll be able to fix that and clean that up and get pigs to 100% clean there if I buy field 8, which I will eventually, but that's 1.2 million. I only got 430,000, so. Can I grow avocados? I cannot. I cannot. It might be one of the mods you can do for this game. There's a lot of mods where you can do different crops. I've seen where you can do rice, you can do wine, I mean grow grapes for wine. There's a bunch of different mods where you can grow different things. Right. Time to die in Call of Duty? Yeah. I thought about playing Call of Duty instead of this, but maybe I still will. Maybe I'll play this for a couple hours, and then maybe I'll switch over to Call of Duty. I don't know. We'll just kind of playing it by ear. Peace Dollar looks like it has the spiked head and the... Well, you know you can go to VAM World. It's the website, just VAMWORLD, VAM World. And I know it works. I know they have it for Morgan dollars. I think the Peace Dollars are on there too. You can click on any date and they have every single one of them and they have pictures for just about all of them. Wait, what field am I going to? Field 11? Okay, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, so you can go there and look at all the photos. I mean, every Morgan and every peace dollar is a VAM of some type, so it is a VAM something. Because every single one is, but most of them aren't worth anything extra. It has to be, you know, one that's in demand by collectors of the varieties. Or it has to be like a really, really high-grade example of one that... Because there are a few people that try to get them all, and high-grade, but not many. Going across the broken bridge. You'll only be on for like 30 minutes. Got to work on the wall that you're making. Okay. Nice. Oh, I know Field 11. Field 11 is this one I don't really like too much down here. It's like a weird shape. That's okay. We'll go ahead and unfold our sprayer. Start getting our unfolder. What is VAM? It's the initials of the authors that wrote the book. So when they catalog the different dies of Morgan dollars and peace dollars, they give them a VAM number. And I don't remember the authors' names offhand, but it's just a combination of the initials of the authors. We're going to go ahead and turn on the sprayer. And we'll hire some help for that one. There we go. We got another sprayer right here. We'll give these guys a little bit of water if it lets me. No. We'll take this sprayer over to the other end of the field so we can get twice as much done. You're Canadian, you're excused for not knowing that, okay. No problemo. Blue Ridge Silverhound was on Mantic Q&A stream. Okay, yeah, I missed the Q&A. I was watching Starbuck Jeff's auction there for a while I was trying to get a bunch of other work doing, so I really wasn't paying 100% attention to Starbuck Jeff's, because a lot of people were bidding a lot more than I was willing to pay on stuff, and he had a lot of stuff to sell, and it took like over 5 hours too, so I wasn't giving my full 100% attention the whole time, and then I was busy on phone calls through half of it, but yeah, I was busy in there doing that, so I didn't even see the Q&A tonight, so I missed that. Alright, so now we got another sprayer on this end of the field going. So that should be good. Just a way to identify, yeah, every single Morgan dollar, I mean, it was struck with a certain obverse die and struck with a certain reverse die. Some of them have little marks and hits. I mean, every single coin, that's the way it is. But the Morgan dollar collectors, they're a little into it. And Morgan dollars and peace dollars are large coins. So it's easier to identify the little differences between dies. So when they see one that has like a little bit of doubling on one of the digits of the date, or a little crack on a certain part, or a little like extra die chip in the hair, or whatever little tiny difference they can find, they know that that die was at that, you know, and they can then figure out which reverse die there is, and then that specific die pair, they give it a VAM number. And then there's different progressions, like sometimes, like if there's a crack, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, so that might be a VAM 2B, a VAM 2C, 2D, and there's all kinds of different numbers, and there's new ones getting discovered all the time, and there's most of them have no premium whatsoever, even though a lot of people try to sell them as premium, because, hey, look, wow, this is a VAM 7, and people are like, oh, really, it's a VAM 7? And then they automatically think that makes it sound special, when, so what, it's a VAM 7? What the hell does that even mean? Well, you got to look up and see what a VAM 7 is, and maybe it's just a little bit of tiny, like, doubling on one of the pieces of cotton in Liberty's hair on the Morgan dollar, and so the hell what, you know, no one cares. But it could be that it's, you know, one of the major ones, and there's like a top 40 VAMs, there's a hot 50 or top 100, there's all kinds of different lists that have the best of the best, and some of them are really big ones, but the really big ones are probably ones that are also in the cherry pickers guides that have FS numbers, or they're just in the red book as major varieties. So there are definitely some better ones though, and that are worth attributing and knowing about, but most of them aren't. So Asa says likes Blue Ridge. Okay, yeah, I haven't watched tons of Blue Ridge's videos. I mean, I watched some, and, you know, I'm subscribed, and when it comes out with something new, I usually see what's going on, but just don't know him that well. And I saw that he's on the Q&A every now and then, but I don't know him enough to know like what kind of expertise he has or what he offers there. I just don't watch the Q&A very much, to be honest. I like the people that are on it. I think it's great that they have that so where people can send in questions, but I just don't like it, to be honest, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't give a damn, and you guys probably know this, because those of you that have emailed, I don't give a damn about if there's an extra little die chip or an extra little bit of doubling, or is this a... I mean, those minor error coins just do not interest me. I'm not saying it's bad that if you collect them, they just don't interest me personally. For several reasons. One, they're almost all very common, and B, they almost all add zero value to the coin. Now, of course, major varieties, the big ones that are in the Red Book that have been known for years and years, or that are in the Cherry Picker's Guide that add significant value. Sure, I like hunting down those and trying to cherry pick those varieties. But all the very minor, and I get emails all the time, it just does not interest me at all. So, and that show, because it's got a bunch of people sending stuff in, 90% of that Q&A show is looking at coins saying, oh, is this a double die, or is this, or what do you think? Is this an error, or is this damage? Which, that's great information to be sharing with new collectors and trying to teach them. But me, doesn't interest me at all. It's not in my wheelhouse. So, again, that's nothing against the people that do the Q&A. Again, I do like them, and I like that they have that show. But that's why you don't see me in the Q&A. Now, usually if I see that they're streaming, I'll pop in there and say hello and click like, because again, I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing for others, I should say. I don't like sitting there watching it for 3 or 4, whatever, 2 hours, whatever they do, because it's very repetitive to me, because I hear it all the time, not only as a part-time dealer, but all over YouTube, and like, oh, is this an error? Is this a variety? What do you think about this? Or, hey, will you look at my coin? Which I like doing for other people too, and I like to be able to help them, but it's just not something that I'm personally interested in. I really don't like error coins at all. I mean, I guess the more dramatic ones I can look at and say, oh, that's cool and all, but I don't collect error coins. I'm a coin collector, and when I learned to collect coins, and as I collected coins, I like nice coins. I don't like mistakes. I like nice high-grade examples the way they're supposed to be. It doesn't interest me that much if there's like a little clip in the planchet, or if there's a lamination that's peeling off the coin, or that's a mistake. I don't want that one. I want the perfect one. That's just the way I am as a collector. So, am I gonna get Last of Us Part 1 and 2 because they are great? I have Last of Us on this right now. Because I think a couple months ago, Last of Us Remastered was one of the PlayStation Plus free games. And I played Last of Us a long time ago, when it was like a new game. But I don't know if I'm going to get Part 2, and... I thought it was okay. I thought, the story was fun, but... I don't know, the game at a certain point, like, became kind of repetitive, and the first half of the game I thought was way more fun than the second half of the game for Last of Us 1. The 23 peace dollars in AU55 condition. How do you find out what VAMs are better than others? Aaron, you can go to a website like VAMworld, VAMworld.com, and they'll have different lists. They'll have like, and I don't remember, there's like a hit list 40, which is like the top 40, or there's like the top 30, and then there's like the hot 50. I'm sure I got all those wrong and mixed up. It might be the hot 40 and the hot 30 or whatever. But they got a list of basically like the top VAMs and then the next group, and so usually it has to be in one of those top groups to like really have value. And then usually, depending on which one, some of the VAMs in Morgan's, or just some of the varieties, you could say, is another way, they have premiums no matter what grade they're. One of the common ones is the 1888-0 Hot Lips. That's one that's popular. It's basically the 1880 New Orleans double die obverse where her lips are doubled on the silver dollar. They call it the hot lips. That's also a VAM, but it's also a FS number. There's an F. It's in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and it's also in the Red Book, just as double diobverse. So that's one that's popular. Same with one of the, I forgot what date, the Scarface. I think it might be the same date, but there's several of them. But. Hi there, Deucidus. Thanks for coming in again. Saw you last time in here, I believe. We're just doing a fertilizing contract right now as we're waiting for our crops to mature. All of our fields are in the growing stage, so we got our sprayers here on field 11 making a few bucks. So thanks for coming on in. You find a die clash error to be interesting. Sometimes I think that's pretty cool, depending on the die clash. Now some coins it's just so common. Like if you look at 3-cent nickels or 3-cent silvers, it's like it's harder to find them without die clashes, and that's common with a lot of small, especially small and thin coins. But there's some that are real popular, the different die clashes, and I can get into that. But those aren't error coins in my opinion. Those end up being varieties, because once the dies strike together and clash, every coin they strike after that is going to have those clash marks. So that's more of a variety than a minting error. So I like varieties. I like double dies. I like repunched mint marks. I like die varieties. Error coins where they're one of a kind, for the most part, just I don't get into them. I mean, I've had errors here and there, some of the more dramatic ones, but really don't get into them. Red, what's going on? Ace likes collecting high-grade stuff over errors. Honestly, buy good coins. Yeah, the one cup. Errors that I really do kind of get into, but I haven't owned many of them because they're so expensive, is when you have off-metal errors. So like if I was going to buy a Jefferson nickel, they have Jefferson nickels that are struck on cent planchets. So basically, you could have a nice MS64 red-brown Jefferson nickel that's a little bit cut off because the cent planchet's smaller, but or you can have the Lincoln cents struck on the dime planchets and things like that. Those are kind of cool, especially when you buy older ones, because you can get yourself like a nice 1957D wheat cent, but it's made of silver because it's struck on a dime planchet. That's kind of cool. So I can get into that kind of stuff a little bit, but those are very expensive. So, but you like double struck ancient coins? Okay, I can see that. That's cool. But the one that really trips me out is when people pay premiums and like get into like lamination errors. I mean, it's just a defect in the metal and the coin's peeling apart. It's like I can't get into that at all. I think those are like those should sell at significant discounts in my opinion. I would never pay any extra for a lamination error. No way. But that's just me. I see some people do, and they get all excited when their coin has lamination error on it. I'm like, well, to me, that's a defective coin that you shouldn't collect, but that's just my opinion. So, do I happen to have an old Roman silver coin? I don't have any Roman coins at all right now, I don't think, and I really don't get into ancients too much. I really like ancients, Red. I just don't know enough about them to collect them, so I'm really scared to like spend and of course the ones that I want to collect and the ones that I know I'll like are the real expensive ones. So if I ever do buy them, I buy certified ones, even though I know ancient coin collectors don't really get into the certified stuff, because there are just so many fakes, especially like I said, of the ones that are high dollar and the ones that I like. So no, I don't have any ancient Rome. I just got the one Greek coin, the Athenian owl. I got one of those right now, but no Romans. You like getting the stuff with die cracks? Yeah, that can be fun and interesting. Some of them come out pretty cool looking. The picture's a Roman. Yep. Pretty cool, Mikey. Alright, how much of this field is left to go? It's got to be almost on 96%. We're almost done. Perfect. We'll get ourselves a cool 16 grand when it's done. We'll move on to the next job. an eye on it for when it's done. We already got 331 comments according to PlayStation, so that's definitely wrong. I'm going to have to look that up, I think, after the stream. Just do like a Google search, because if this is something... Contract is finished, so let's go ahead and dismiss this worker. We'll dismiss this worker, and we'll collect our 16 grand. If this has happened to me 2 streams in a row, and I didn't even stream 2 days in a row, it was a couple days ago, I think. Or was it? Did I stream yesterday? I can't remember. Well, whatever day it was. It's got to be happening to other people, too, so I might have to Google that to check that out. Has to be major die cracks, like rim to rim. Well, a die crack rim to rim... That's... What is that, Let's see. You can have a die crack rim to rim, and that's more of a die break, I believe is what they call that. If it's a die crack rim to rim, and then if the metal is actually moved, then they call that a retained cud. And then if the metal like breaks off, and then from the die, then it's a cud. So I know there's like different words for different stages of a rim to rim die crack, which is kind of fun. But more fertilizing, I guess. Let's see what's fertilizing contracts. Well, we got a bunch down in that area, a bunch of little tiny fields we can go fertilize. Maybe we'll send one of our tractors down to do that. What the heck? And then we can go do a tour of our old fields, because field 24 and 26 are back in our old homeland down here where we started, right there, 24 and 26. When I combined them into one big field, which shows up here, but when we go in and try to look at what the AI does here, now that I don't own it anymore, they still farm it like it was 3 little separate fields, which is kind of weird. So yeah, maybe we'll go do those contracts. And what are we going to take? Are we going to take this little guy or the other little guy? We'll take the other little guy. So let's take this guy home. They do bring high premium on the In God We Rust Air itself. And I don't understand why that sells for any premium, to be honest, Mikey. The In God We Rust. So a little bit of... So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just a little bit of a grease-filled dye, and it fills in the T of trust, so then it says In God We Rust. Okay. Doesn't excite me one bit. But... I mean, maybe there's some novelty because it says rust instead of trust. Like if it would have filled in the last T, so where it says In God We Trust, would anybody care about it? Maybe not as much. Maybe that's what's going on with that one, but grease-filled dyes are common, and you have missing letters on lots of coins. So that doesn't excite me at all as a collector. Again, now if that's like your favorite thing to collect, that's great too. I mean, more power to you. That's why collecting's cool. You can collect what you like, I can collect what I like. So you shouldn't collect what I like, you should collect what you like. When you go hunting rolls, did a lot of the coin houses, they just aren't really rare. And that's the thing. You've seen it, and I've seen it. You can look at pretty much anybody that searches quarters on YouTube. They find those In God We Rust airs. If it was really worth $20 to $30 or you say $50, people wouldn't be able to find them that easily. So, yeah, people might be able to get that, but people are overpaying for it, at least in my opinion. It's too common. It's too common of a coin to be getting that premium. Same thing with the W quarters, though. People are still paying $10 a piece for W quarters when there's 2 million of each design. Whoa, there was a little dip in the road there. Or off-road. People are still paying way too much money for those, but I think as time goes on, yeah, prices of the super high-grade examples will hold up. But the average ones that people are buying right now, like the MS63 condition, just average circulate or average uncirculated ones, you ain't gonna get $10 a piece for them going forward. That'd be my thinking on that. 76D double die. Yeah, there's some tougher double dies and everything, but when you think about even that double die there, Mikey, that it goes for a high price because not lots of them have been found, okay? And it's possible not many more will be found. Maybe it really is that rare. But you know what? It's also one of those things, I personally, in my lifetime, let's just say, not even in my lifetime, let's just say in the last year, I've probably had hundreds of bicentennial quarters go through my hands. Because I go through collections all the time, and almost every time you buy a collection from someone, they always have a bunch of Susan B. Anthony dollars, because everybody saved them. They always have some Ike dollars, because everybody saved those. They always have rolls of bicentennial quarters, clad. Because if you were a collector in the 70s, and the new bicentennials came out, you probably saved rolls of them, because you thought they were going to be worth something someday. And they're not worth anything today. They're still worth just a quarter each. So every collection I go through, almost every collection, I won't say every, but almost every, has rolls and rolls of bicentennial that we just deposit right in the bank. I don't care if they're BU, no one's going to pay, I mean, it's not worth the time to find someone to pay me a little bit of premium. And do I check those for double die? Never. Never. And I never have. Maybe I should be, because I know that that one is out there. And my whole point, though, on this is I'm doing the same thing pretty much every dealer in the country does. They get hundreds of those a week or a month or whatever it is, and nobody looks for that variety. Very few people, I should say. I wouldn't say nobody. I don't want to be absolute. So the whole point of that is, if we all started looking for that variety, are we going to start finding more of them? Of course. Believe me, the couple people that are looking aren't just that lucky that they're out there. So once more of them are found, the prices will go down. And looking at the actual doubling on that, it's not super extreme. Like, it's not a 55 double die Lincoln cent or something like where every collector wants a 76D double die quarter. It's pretty minor. I understand Washington quarter collectors probably will always demand it, but once more of them get on the market, prices will go down. So, but will they go down to where they're worth $100 each in higher grades, or will it be $10 each in higher grades? I don't know. How many more of them will be found? I have no idea. That'd be my thinking on that. But yeah, with values like that, I should be, when next time I get rolls of those, I should probably look for them. It's probably worth looking if I can get a couple $100 for a coin if I find it. Or if it's a mint, and I'm often looking at mint state rolls of bicentennials. Mint states might even be worth more. Don't know. Alright, that contract's finished that quick on field 24. We'll take the contract on field number 26, which is right around. So this used to be where we lived down here. This used to be our fields. And now they're owned by the AI. We sold our house, and we plowed this all into one big field, but the AI still treats it as separate fields. So we'll go ahead and fertilize them as separate little fields for them. So there you go. Or what I should do, Mikey, is, because I get rolls of bicentennial quarters, and I could get more and more of them if I wanted them, just because, like I said, everybody that has a collection, pretty much, or anybody that's collected coins through the 1970s, so if those are the people that are, passing away and their families are turning in their coin collections, or if they're selling stuff now, they all have Ike dollars, they all have bicentennial quarters, they all have a whole bunch of Kennedy halves, and they all have Susan B. Anthony dollars, stuff like that. They all have that kind of stuff. Why is this guy fertilizing right there? No, that's wrong. You're not supposed to fertilize right there. I guess maybe instead of me going through them, if I don't have time to do that, which maybe I'll look because they are valuable enough, but I could probably just sell those rolls right here on YouTube, because there's probably other people that would search those, and in my next auction say, hey, rolls of uncirculated bicentennial unchecked for the double. But I don't think people would believe that I unsearched them anyway, unless they were still bank wrapped, which that's a whole other issue, bank wrapped rolls. It's like, almost all of those you guys see are fake anyway. So, but I won't even get it. I mean, no sense in getting into that because people have strong opinions about that too. It's like many of them are not original Minecraft tools that are out there on the market. Many of them are not. So, what do I think? Should a CUD only be the name if it's on the rim or anywhere on the coin? If there's a piece of the... I think, well, I mean, it's not what I think. I think there's a... Oh, we just finished that contract. There's a definite... I think CUD is only if it's on the rim. I think if it's missing in the center of the coin, there's a piece of the die missing. I think that's just called a die chip. Because there's a chip out of the die. The CUD is when a piece of the die is missing. I mean, I think it only applies when it's on the rim. Like I said, I don't really collect errors that much. I mean, I know enough here and there about them to where I know some of the language about them. And then we'll do field number 19 as a fertilizing contract. We'll accept that. Right over here. We're driving right where our barn used to be. We used to have our house. We're going to drive right through where our house used to be. We sold that. Right here. I even still have some food on the ground from where we had our chickens. There's some chicken feed spilt on the ground right there. We had a lot of good memories back here in southeastern Ravensport. This is where we started. This is where it all began. I even cut down some trees on that hill to make this field bigger, and the AI won't even farm it anymore. Son of a gun. Alright, let's just go ahead and turn this... I got out of the tractor. Wrong button. Turn this on. Since I don't have access to this land, of course I don't have access to it. It's not mine anymore. I'm doing a contract. Alright, can you get those raw? What do we do? How do you come across some of the slabbed rarities that we found? I mean, some of those coins are raw, and then I send them in for grading. Most of them I buy already certified, though. And picture quality depends on picture. Josh, how you doing? Good luck fertilizing the crop. Well, thanks. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Why did this guy back up here? I'm dismissing this worker. This worker is doing a horrible job. Turn this up. Oh, I got it. Come on, wrong button. There you go. Why would he get out of the truck right there? Not why would he get out of the truck, I mean, why would he quit fertilizing? That was weird. Alright. Yeah, thanks, Josh. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Ace, are you off to bed too? Thanks for popping in and hanging out for a bit. Picture quality is what brings the profit on coins, something like that. Somewhat. But Mikey, that's only the case if you're asking premiums for eye appeal. I mean, if I have something common, like an MS65 Morgandollar, what is this guy doing? Just an MS65 Common Date Morgandollar that's just blast white, and you have the same coin, and I take a really nice photo of mine, and you just do a crappy scan with your, old scanner from the 1990s or early 2000s, we're both going to get about the same money for our coins, because it's a Common Date MS65 Morgandollar that's only worth $90 to $110, $120. It doesn't matter how good of a photo we take. But if we both have MS65 Common Date Morgandollars that are rainbow toned, and I get a really nice photo of my awesome rainbow color, and you have one that's similarly toned, and you just take a crappy blurry photo that doesn't show the color well, yes, I'll get way more money for mine than yours. Because the premium is based on the eye appeal, not on the actual grade or, rarity of the coin itself, if that makes sense. But if we're both selling relatively common stuff, even if they both look decent, photos really don't matter. That's why a lot of that stuff you can sell sight unseen. And there's prices. That's what the gray sheet is. It's a It's for prices, that's what blue sheet is technically. Gray sheet is site seen prices. Gray sheet's site seen. Blue sheet is for site unseen. And if you call up certain dealers and say, hey, I got 100 of Morgan dollars in this grade, and they're graded NGC, PCGS, they don't even really care half the time. What will you pay? They'll look in their blue sheet, and there's a price for that right there. They don't care what the coins look like, because it doesn't matter. It's the common. So, contract finished. Dismiss worker, and we'll collect our 1,200 bucks. Boom. What else is fertilizing? Field 21, that's right down the street. Let's do that one. Accept the contract. Hold this up. Let's try to keep up on the chat just a little bit. I think we got, actually, the gaming. What's going on? Sorry if I didn't say hello to you, and unless you're just popping in now. We're just banging out some contracts, waiting for our fields to get a harvest ready. Now we're heading over to field number 21 to do a little spraying. Mikey's like, I'll buy the bicentennials if nobody buys them, and if I find a DDO, you'll send me a picture. Oh, I thought you were going to send me a check for as like extra commission for hooking you up. No? That's funny. Like right now, I know I don't know exactly where I have them, but I know I have them. I probably got like $400 or $500 worth of uncirculated Ike dollars. And I know a lot of them are bicentennials, and I know like Lincoln Central is one of the people, because he loves Ike dollars, is always like saying, please sell them to me because I want to look through them for varieties and stuff. I'm like, well, maybe I'll look through them for varieties someday or something too, because I know I never looked through them for anything. I just bought, at one point, I bought a bunch of Ike dollars, like a couple bags of them, a couple bags of $1,000 face value, and I went through them and just pulled out all the nicest coins and put them in the rolls, all the uncirculated ones, and then I sold the rest of the Ikes. And so it's like, but I've had these rolls forever. It's like I really don't need to sell them, but and if I do sell them, I'm not just going to sell them to someone like dirt cheap and say, here, good luck, find all the good stuff. I'd put them in an auction and make you at least bid against other people that might want them too. It's like, so Lincoln, if you're listening there, that's sorry. I'll put them in auction someday maybe, but I'm not just gonna give them away. That's for show. Not unless I just get a bunch more someday and I want to get rid of them like right away. Just doing some contracts. We'll check the map while we're spraying Kenneth Fletcher's field here, number 21, just to see. We'll zoom out just to see, did our fields, nope, they're still all in growing phase, don't worry, we're not missing any time here. And let's check the fertilizing. Again, we did get all that, but a lot more of the maps turning blue here. We're fertilizing other people. We're doing alright, we're doing good. And actually, if I go down and turn off the lime warnings, these are fertilized too. Look at that. We've been doing some spraying. Turn the lime on again. Get to 52 on this, 52%. If I find a few, we could do a trade. No, I really don't. That variety doesn't really interest me too much. Like I said, if I'm gonna get any of the cherry picker varieties, or now of course if I take a coin in the trade, that's one thing. I'll sell that, and so there's a lot of coins. I wouldn't say a lot, but I get coins from time to time that you'll see me selling that I have zero interest in and I would never buy on my own, but it's because I've either taken them on trade or sometimes I have them on consignment. Like someone will say, hey, I have this coin, will you help me sell it? And then I just take a percentage when it sells. So not everything on my site is stuff that like I look out and look to buy, but when I'm looking at varieties, something very like a very minor double die variety, like it just that one that you actually have to have like a 5 times loop or better to see. I don't get into that. Because the number of collectors out there that really want a 76D DDO quarter and that are willing to pay a big premium for it, I'm guessing is small. But so far, the prices have been high because the number found and have been turned in for grading have been small. But if 100 more of those are found, will there be 100 more collectors out there that actually want that coin and want it enough to pay hundreds of dollars for it? I'm guessing no. Now, will there be hundreds of collectors willing to pay $10 each to have one in their collection? Probably. Will there be hundreds of collectors willing to pay $25 each for them? Maybe. But to pay hundreds of dollars, the number of collectors willing to do that's going to drop pretty quick as the price gets up there, and I would strongly believe that there are hundreds more of those coins out there waiting to be found, because from experience I know most people that get those don't look at them. Alright, we finished that contract. Collect. We got field 25 we can fertilize. That's right back around the corner, so we'll just go ahead and do that while we're here. Even though these aren't much money, I mean, it might be a waste of time to even go over to field 25 for only $600. We're already down here, we got our sprayer, and one of the trophies that you unlock is by completing a certain number of contracts. I think it's 100 contracts. I know we're getting close to it. I think last time I checked we had like 89 of them done. So I'm going to try to bang out a bunch of these small contracts. See if we can get that trophy popping. Aaron, take care, man. Thanks for popping in. Get up at 4 in the morning. Bro. That's rough, but gotta do it. We all gotta be working somehow. Absolutely. I wonder if that contract for field 25 over here just showed up, or if I just missed it last time I looked. Because if I would have noticed that, I would have done that while I was over here just a minute ago. Oops. Didn't turn on the sprayer. Well, for the 5 of you that are still in here watching, if you guys want a chance to win a Morgan silver dollar, you can go over to Paisley and Daddy's show if you haven't already. That's Sheldon in Hawaii. If you go back about 3-4 videos, Michael Kittle mail call, where I sent his daughter a bunch of what did I send? Chocolate coins, and I sent him his Canadian nickels. Well, one of the giveaways, they pick prizes for giveaways, because remember, every video Sheldon and them do is a giveaway video. Well, the prizes that they picked out to give away for my mail call that I sent in, it was a Morgan silver dollar, and I can't remember what the other coin was now, but there were 2 coins that were pulled. Was it 2 or was it 3? I don't know, there was a couple coins, and one of them was a Morgan silver dollar, so all you gotta do is go find that video on the Paisley and Daddy show and leave a comment. And if you really want to win a bunch of free stuff, just leave a comment on all their videos. Now, I guess that's wrong. You just don't leave a comment, because I think in recent videos, not every video, but a lot of them, they've been starting to put keywords that you gotta have in your comments. So you do have to watch enough of the video to find the keyword. So it has gotten a little bit tougher. I think Sheldon just has had a lot of people coming in, and they just, like, he'll post a new video, and then the video he knows is like a 15-minute video, for example, and like after he posts it, 5 minutes later, he's already got like 8 comments with people saying great mail call and stuff. It's like, well, bro, We know you didn't watch this. Oh, there we go. I just got that trophy. Legendary Aid. Nice. For doing the 100 contracts, which will collect number 100 right there. And let's go check our stats. Missions completed, 98. Transport missions, 2. 98 plus 2 equals right about 100. Very nice. Whoa. Well, I just definitely hit the wrong button by disconnecting that while it was open like that. I meant to just... And the reason I jump out of my tractor and hit the wrong buttons all the time is with the PlayStation controller, it's a little tough. Like right now, the X button is detach. Like detaching like that. Or attach. But if I... To fold this in, which is what I was attempting to do, I have to hit L1 and then X to fold it together. And sometimes if you do it real fast, it doesn't register that you're hitting both buttons. Anywho, where are we going next? Any other contracts? Field 2 is the only other fertilizing contract on the map. Let's take it. Let's go for a ride. That was funny how the bot picked you twice in SoCal stream. Yeah. But that's the way the Nightbot works, and that's why I'm now, of course, you know, like I said, I'm an attorney, part-time attorney, and I don't like to say never, so I'll say I'll probably never use Nightbot in my streams. Because it picks the same people over and over. You've been in Little Nitrate streams, and you've been in some of the others where they use Nightbot to pick their winners, and once it picks a name, it likes to pick that name over and over and over, and it's not random is what it is. And if I knew exactly how it was picking, then I could advise people, here, this is what you have to do to win, but I don't know. I think sometimes it's based on how many comments, and Mikey, you are one of the people that comments the most in the streams, because you're always asking questions and commenting and participating in chat, which is a good thing, of course. But so it makes me think sometimes it's based on number of comments, but then every now and then, like when I see Little Nitrate streams, it'll just pick people that haven't made comments in several minutes, and then it'll pick them 3 times in a row, so it just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's kind of the way Nightbot works. It's pretty crazy. So where are we going? Field number 2. That's right. That's way up north. But that's the thing. I mean, when I'm in Little Nitrate, for example, and I'm just using them for an example because I know they use Nightbot a lot in the same stream. So other streams that use Nightbot just to pick a winner every now and then, like Mikey, I could totally get away with it, like in my streams, if I just used Nightbot only like once. You know, as long as you use it once in the stream, just to pick like, hey, let's just do a random end of stream giveaway, and we'll just use Nightbot because I want to end the stream. I ain't got time to do the dice rolling and pick a name or blah blah blah. So let's just use Nightbot. Or if I was in a stream where there was like more than 100 people, so I couldn't even do the 100-sided die, and I want everyone to have a chance, and it's just a one-time giveaway, I could use Nightbot. Whoever it picks, even though I know that bot is not 100% fair and random, just based on what I've seen, it's only going to pick one name, so everyone's going to accept it and be happy. Oh, congrats to the winner. But then if I decided to pick another winner and risk it, I wouldn't do it for more than one pick, because if it picks the same person twice in a row, then everybody's going to say rigged. So it's just that's why if I'm going to do something like that I want to be random and not during a live stream, or even during a live stream I could do it. I like to do the ones like we do you have a comment video and leave a comment, and we use the random comment picker, because even though some people get picked on those more than others, I believe it's random. I actually went to a video once and clicked it like 50 times, and it was not picking the same names over and over. It was always picking different names, and you know, it seemed pretty legit and pretty fair. the thing I don't like about the random comment picker and doing comment videos is a lot of times if you have a stream going on and you're trying to do in-stream giveaways, those people aren't there watching at that time. Which is nothing against those people. If you have a stream that's 3 hours long, you can't expect everyone to be there the entire 3 hours. That's just not reasonable. But over those 3 hours, for example, everyone will have gone to your comment video and left a comment. So you may have 40 people in your stream on average the whole time, but that comment video will have 100-some comments because some people were in at the beginning, some were in at the middle, some popped in for 5 minutes, some were there the whole time. But so at the end, you're out, if you're trying to have someone that's there, the comment picking videos just don't work. So it's better than the random comment picker because some people are the Mikey. I should have been reading your message instead of rambling on because I was talking the same nonsense right there exactly. But you know what? If it's a giveaway, and sometimes I like to do that, Mikey, because really, if I'm doing a stream, like when I did my mail call the other night, now that wasn't that big of a deal because it was just giving away some stuff I got in the mail. Not a huge thing. So, and it was kind of late at night, so I knew not everybody would be able to stay till the end. So, should I have done a comment picking video and said you don't have to be here to win? That would have been more fair. Because, look, the people that came into the first 5 minutes of that stream and then said, hey Kittle, you know what, you started this pretty late and I gotta go to bed. Those people are just as important to me as the people that were there to the end. It's not my fault, and it's not really their fault that they had to get up and work, and they're on the East Coast, or they're in Europe, and it was 4 in the morning or something like that. So they should have had an equal chance to win. You could argue that. So that's something I was thinking about doing in my streams anyway, Mikey. It's like I do almost all the stuff I do is you have to be there to win. I roll the dice, and you know right then and there if you've won, but I'm thinking about maybe doing some comment videos, or do like EVG Hobby does, pick somebody else's video to comment on, so we're also doing a shout out and getting somebody else some more traffic. Because I like to do the in-stream giveaways, but it's not really fair to the people that can only pop in for a second. And I want to reward those people too, so maybe there will be some that you don't have to be there to win, and because I kind of like that too. Because I know I can't be in everybody's streams all the time, so. Moosox, what's going on? Kayla fan #1, how you doing? Thanks for popping in, too. We're just doing a fertilizing contract here on field #2. It's 7:25 a.m. here in Ravensport, USA. It's a beautiful day. Looking like it's going to be sunny all day. And we're just waiting on our crops. We got 3 fields of soybeans and a field of sunflowers. Getting ready, they're in the final stages of growing. And we'll be harvesting them soon. But while we're waiting for those to be harvest ready, doing a little bit of work for others, making a little bit of cash. Some streams you do enter or exclamation giveaway to enter. Yeah, there are a lot of those streams. I mean, so Nightbot, if you set up Nightbot to do the giveaways, that automatically, you can set that up to automatically just enter everybody that's talked in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you set it up to do. And then the host or a moderator just types in, depending on how you set it up, just types in exclamation point winner, and then Nightbot tells you who wins. The others who have like the exclamation point GAW or the exclamation point enter, those are the bots that are set up through Streamlabs usually. So that's a whole different bot, and I think those are a little bit more fair. I think that is I mean, it's more random than Nightbot for sure. But and Mikey, that might be a good thing. I might set up the Streamlabs bot and try that out. Now, I don't think in my streams I want to have a bunch of games and stuff going on, because if you have more than 5-10 people in your chat, you get everybody playing the games and they're always typing in to see how many points they got and all this stuff, and it's just you can't follow the chat then. It's just all people playing games, and I find it pretty distracting. Now, again, if your whole stream is just you doing some role searching and 90% of the stream you're not finding anything else anyway, and it's just, you know, a bunch of noise and coins and wrappers being open and coins being thrown aside and wrappers being open and coins being thrown aside. Yeah, you know what? Maybe the games are fine, and because there's not much to talk about. So I can understand that, depending on the hosts. As long as if the host of the stream ain't keeping a conversation going, right? So when I do my link and sent boxes, I guess maybe I could have bots with games, but usually, I mean, you listening to me right now, Mikey, for example, I talk enough, and usually we're talking about other stuff, so I don't think I need to have games. Now, there's other people that do role hunting that they're basically pretty quiet, and until they find something, they don't say anything. So I think maybe bots work better for some streams than others, is kind of what I'm saying. All right, who else just came in? I just saw somebody else popping in. It's fair because you know you're in, and that's the other thing that's good about Streamlabs, like you said, because the person can bring up the screen and say, yes, look, you're in on this one, and this is how many entries you have, or limits, or you can even set up the Streamlabs bot to confirm if you're in, but then that's just more spam in the chat, too. Soybeans are really tough. Take a tractor hit and don't even bend. Yeah, we got it set on where crops don't get destroyed when you drive on them. And even though this is the first growth stage, so even in the regular game where you set everything to the hardest difficulty, you can drive on them like this and it doesn't hurt them. But once they grow more, then you'd have to put thin tires, like on your tractor. Brian Mills, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Kittle Radio is live. Tune in now. Hello, Philip Dixon. Welcome to Kittle Rants Radio, here in Ravensport, USA. The current time is 7:29 a.m. Forecast today is mostly sunny, highs in 78. Low tonight will be 57. Traffic in Ravensport is light. Hope everybody had a good day today. We're just about getting to be close to done with this field. It looks like, yep, 81% progress. Let's check our map once more. Well, let's check the pigs real quick. Well, if we just scrolled by that. Pigs look pretty fine to me, I guess. Got plenty of water, plenty of straw. The food is in the red because I just don't see the point of loading it up with tons and tons and tons of food. I mean, they have food and they're eating. I'm not going to let it run out. But my thinking on that is, if I decide, hey, look, we've had enough fun with the pigs, and I might be at that point already, because I already got my trophy for raising 50 pigs. There's really no point to keep going unless I think it's a big money maker, and so far it actually is, I think, a good money maker, the pigs in this game. But the other thought is, maybe I'll sell the pig farm right now and then pop down another animal like sheep and then try to raise sheep and get that trophy. But because otherwise, if I keep the pigs going and then put a sheep farm down too, then I got to deal with both of them and the resources for both of them, and yeah, I don't know. But still thinking about it. But I think the pigs, we've been actually making some income with those, so they might be worth keeping no matter what anyway. Not 100% sure on that, because you know we're still learning. So there are the fields again. Again, we're up here right now. Fertilizing Field 2, that contract is almost complete. There's our fields, 6, 7, 12, and 13. That's what we're growing, and the growth stage is still in the green. They're all in the green. They're still growing. They need to be in the yellow or orange to show that they're ready to harvest, and nothing is there yet. Brian Mills is on Farming Simulator. Okay. Yep, I do enjoy the game. Oh, we did finish the contract, so we can go ahead and dismiss this guy and collect 5,000 bucks. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. We'll fold this up. And we have now done all the contracts that we're willing to do. We've done... The only ones left are a couple transporting contracts. Those are kind of a pain in the butt because I don't have all the right equipment to do it. Not worth it. And then we have baling contracts, so you could watch me mow the grass for a couple hours and do that. And if I'm going to mow the grass for an hour or two, I'm going to do it on my own land and then turn it into silage and sell it. So that's kind of where we're at. No contracts left to do. Mikey had a good day because he was playing Life is Strange 2, and you fell asleep at 10:30 to 11 o'clock last night. Kayla's got a garden, and what kind of stuff do you grow in the garden? What map do I play on? This is Ravenport, so it's basically the one of the base maps, and it's like the USA. The other base map is Felsburn, and that's kind of based on Germany, I believe, or Europe in general. You dug potatoes today? Yikes. Some nice fresh taters. Make sure you clean them well. Yeah, but that's something I'll check out sometime, I think, is there's a lot of cool mod maps, too, like just different ones that you can download and add to the game. And the thing I don't like, though, is like right now, if I decide, you know what, okay, we've had enough fun here in Ravensport, I want to sell all my stuff, and then I open up the German map, I don't get to keep that money, so it's like, I wish it was like something that I could say, hey, look, we've had enough here in the United States, things are a little crazy in this country, let's move over to Europe or something, and it's like, let's sell the farm, sell all our equipment, book that plane ticket and go to Germany and start over. No, I gotta start a whole fresh save and I don't get to keep any of my money and all that stuff, so... Which, that's fine. I guess if I really wanted to, I could cheat some of that money in if I wanted to start with money in the next map, but... Squash and tomatoes and bell peppers and taters and all kinds of stuff there. Nice. Yeah, I shouldn't be driving through my field like this, I know, but whatever. I do what I want. That's there. That's some soybeans. We got 2 other fields of soybeans, different growth stages. And then way off in the distance, let's just take a look at these sunflowers. Had a little bit of a lag in my stream there, at least on my phone. Hopefully you guys didn't experience that too bad. I do like this, and I was pointing it out last time I grew sunflowers, that you just look at those flowers, all of them are pointing like right at the sun, just like they would in real life. Nice little touch. I do like that. That is cool. So Mikey, Life is Strange 2. Is that game where you're like the girl with her camera all the time and you can like rewind time and you're supposed to like do stuff? Is that game? Because I think I played Life is Strange 1. Because again, I think it was one of the free PS Plus games at one point. Moosox, gotta get back to work. Thanks for hanging out, Moosox. Hope you have a good one. We're going to go in and check this piece of equipment because I noticed the repair is a little bit on the low side. We're just going to sort things by the order they need to be repaired. And I just got a warning that my internet connection is not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. So is that going to just make my stream fail here? Or is that just a warning and PlayStation 'doesn't know what the hell they're talking about? Let's see. And you guys just see that warning popped up too, I noticed. Usually they block those notices that come across the screen, but apparently not that one. Okay, it didn't shut down the stream though, as far as I can tell. So we're gonna roll with it, because I think I got a pretty good internet connection. Alright, since there is nothing left to do, we have done all of our contracts that we're willing to do. Pigs are, just gonna be pigs, that's fine. That is Life is Strange, the first one I was talking about, Life is Strange. So the new one's about two brothers being chased by cops trying to survive. Okay, because I think I did play that first Life is Strange, because I'm pretty sure that was one of the free... I know I wouldn't have just bought that game out of the blue. You know what I mean? I think it was one of the free games, or maybe it was just free for some other reason or promo. Because I know I played that, where you could, like, rewind time and... Yeah. And you were basically just going around looking for clues for stuff all the time, and she was always, like, whispering to herself, like, hey, like, talking. It's like, yeah. I kind of remember. I played that a long time ago, I think. Alright, I just wanted to look around here to see if there was anything else we need to do at the farm. There's nothing else we can do. We've done all of our contracts. We can't do any harvesting. So we're just going to go ahead and go park our tractor here. We're going to speed up a little time until we can do some harvesting. Actually, we'll go park it right over here, so we can get a good view of our fields. So that's Life is Strange Part 2. Okay. I think that's what you're trying to say there. There's rooms of a third Life is Strange with similar... Well, I'm sure, yeah, if people keep playing them, and I'm sure they'll keep making them. Alright, so let's go ahead and go into the menu, and we'll crank it up to, I guess, 120 times speed. We'll just keep an eye on these fields. We just paid somebody $500 in wages. I'd like to know who that was. I guess we can go in the menu real quick and just look at contracts. Anything else coming up? A couple fertilizing contracts just popped up. Not super exciting. And we can just keep looking at the map as well for the growth stages. Nothing there. Oh, there we go. It's ready to harvest, so let's kill the time jump. Boom. Now we got work to do. And let's check contracts too to see if there's anything else we want to do while we're doing our own work. Not really that thrilled about going to fertilize those two fields. We don't need to do that. But we do need to harvest. And we shall harvest. We shall. Indeed. Can't believe tomorrow is Friday already. What the heck? And I've been playing so many video games this week, it seems like I haven't really gotten as much done this week as I wanted to get done. But which means I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. I should probably be getting some of that stuff done, so I feel like I got more done this week. So I don't feel like I didn't get enough done this week. If that makes sense. Alright, we got a couple fields of soybeans here ready to rock. And I mean, let's do this. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Working for ourselves, finally. Alright, what did I want to... I just thought I was going to look at something else. Yes, we just sped up time some, so it's always a good idea to check on the animals again. Now we're at 83% cleanliness, so they get a little dirty pretty quick. They're pigs, after all. We're up to 64 of each variety now, because they do reproduce, and do so quite quickly. And that's okay. And this entire thing holds 300 pigs, so once it gets up to 75 of each, we'll be totally full, and no more room for any more. So we always want to sell well before we get to 75 of each. Otherwise, we're wasting the ability to have new pigs come into the world. And what would this world be if new pigs weren't coming into it? I mean, seriously. Like he says, it's like storytelling games have more success than pay to win, because most of the first-person shooters like Battlefield and Call of Duty die quickly in 7 months because people pay. Okay, Mikey, let's talk about this. Kittle rants topic: pay to win / first-person shooters subtopic. You say this, okay? Let's analyze what you say here, because I want to make sure I understand. So storytelling games have more, like, so you're talking about something like Life is Strange. See, and you know what? When I played Life is Strange back in, I mean, this had to be a couple of years ago, because it's probably an older game. It was more like watching a movie to me than playing, but it was like an interactive movie, right? Because really, I think there were a couple points where you were able to choose, do you do this or do you do that, right? But there was zero challenge to the game. It wasn't hard. There was no doubt I was going to be able to complete it. It wasn't hard at all. But it was just like watching a movie. But you had a little bit of say in what happened. Kind of like one of those choose-your-own adventures. So, but you know what? Sometimes you just want to chill and watch a movie, right? Okay, so that's basically what that game was. And probably the same with Life is Strange 2 and whatever. Totally different thing. But then your rest of your comment says, more success than pay to win. So when you say pay to win, are you suggesting that Call of Duty and Battlefield are pay to win? Or are you talking about a separate category, pay to win games? Because it seems like after you say pay to win, then you start going into your first-person shooter game discussion. And now you're saying they die quick. And you know what? I don't agree with that totally, because I could go, right now, Mikey, I can plug in my PS3, okay? And I could put in a game that's like 10 years old or more. Like, I could put in Call of Duty World at War on my PS3, put in my disc, yes, because I don't download games, I have the disc, and I would go into the Team Deathmatch lobby, and I guarantee it's going to be full of people playing a 10-year-old Call of Duty game right now. I have no doubt about that. Now, the part of the part where it gets hard to get matches in the old game is if I want to play hardcore search and destroy on a 10-year-old Call of Duty game. Yeah, there might not be a lot of people in the lobby and it might be tough to get a game. But if I want to play Team Deathmatch or Domination or what's the other count? Free for All, I can put in any Call of Duty and I'm going to get matches right away. Any one of them. I don't care if you're talking about last one or if you're talking about one that's 12 years old. It ain't going to be hard. The part where it does get tricky, though, is the matchmaking on some of the older versions of Call of Duty sucks. So if you don't have all the same map packs as people, it gets a little tricky. So if you bought all of the map packs back in the day, you should be able to get matches no problem. If you bought none of the map packs back in the day, you should be able to get matches no problem, because there'll be a lot of people out there that bought them all, and there'll be a lot of people out there that bought none of them. But if for some reason you only bought one of the map packs, or two, or some weird combination, and especially if you only bought the third map pack, but you didn't buy the first, the second, and the fourth, the older ones team you up with only people that have that exact same set of map packs. So the chances that a bunch of people are going to be playing that only bought the exact map packs that you bought are going to be low, and that's going to suck. So there are ways, I think, to turn that off on some of the Call of Duties, but I think in some of the older ones you can't even, like, you have to actually delete some of the map packs. I had to do that on one of my old Call of Duty games that I wanted to play. I had to delete the map packs I downloaded because I couldn't get teamed up with anybody. So I deleted them, so then it only had the base maps, and then I got tons of people right away. So, Mikey says, care packages and microtransactions in the game where they're done adding new maps is going to be wrong. So, yeah, but Mikey, do those microtransactions, like I see in Call of Duty, at least in the one I'm playing right now, which is Call of Duty World War II, which I guess is a couple years old. You can buy, and I saw it briefly in the one that's out right now where they got the war zone. You can spend real money to buy, like, what is it, extra care packages, or... But do they give you any advantage in the game if you get any of that garbage that comes out of them? It looks like it's all just a bunch of skins or little charms for your weapon, or camo, or like little dances your character will do. It doesn't look like any of that gives you any advantage in the game. Now, I could be wrong, though. Which I'm fine. If you want, if there's a bunch of kids out there, or a bunch of people out there that want to spend their real money, their real allowance, or birthday money, or Christmas money, or their parents' money, whatever it is, to, like, have your guy do a different little dance after he kills you, or to have a neat little stupid charm on your gun that nobody else has, you know, it's your money, do what you want. But if it is actually pay to win, to where you can get, like, I see that in Grand Theft Auto Online a little bit. It's not necessarily pay to win, because I think you can actually play enough to earn all that, but the time involved to play enough to earn all the cool stuff is not reasonable. So Grand Theft Auto Online seems a little bit more pay to win. That's what I would call pay to win, where you actually have to, you know, unless you're willing to spend hundreds of hours playing online, you kind of have to buy stuff to compete. You have to pay real money, and I don't like that. Red Dead Redemption isn't like that, though, because it's easy enough to earn the gold bars and stuff to unlock the stuff you need and to buy all the ammo, and I think it's easy enough to earn it without playing tons of time. So I don't think Red Dead Redemption's in that same category. But so the weapons that you can get, that you can only buy in that. See, I didn't know there was stuff like that. I know that sometimes in the care packages it'll give you a special variant of a weapon that says it'll give you a little bit extra XP if you use it, but I don't know if there's anything that's like like such a good gun that, like, it's game changing. You know, they all seem to be about, it seems pretty balanced, the different guns. You need to stop with the supply drop system because the old school will stop playing. You mean like all those different care packages that people are buying and that you earn at the end of the matches? That stuff don't bother me too much, because it's like, if it's, you know, fine, people are getting that stuff, and as long as they're not getting something that is gonna, like, all of a sudden let them win the matches. They did that in Black Ops 4. I never played Black Ops 4. I think the last Black Ops I played was Black Ops 3. But yeah, I don't like pay to win either. And in Battlefield 1, I don't remember. I think you could buy extra things, but really in that game, it didn't seem like, yeah, even if you bought like some extra guns or some extra stuff, it didn't seem like it's gonna like automatically make you win. It might give you like a tiny advantage, like if you're able to unlock the exact gun or something that you really want, or. But I don't think it's really going to make you that much better to where it's like not fair to the people that don't spend money. But a game like I'll say right now before I get into it, Grand Theft Auto Online I haven't played for a long time. Like, it's been at least a year since I've even turned it on. But that game, you can tell right away that people that are spending money on like the fancy cars and the things that are flying around and all the different like properties, like people that spend a bunch of real money in that game have an advantage. or have a little bit of an edge. And usually it is people that are spending real money. Now, of course, you can get all that stuff by earning it on your own without spending real money, but the time involved is just insane to actually do that. So most people actually just spend the money. Real money, I should say. So yeah, that kind of turned me off of playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto Online, because I would play it and I liked the missions, and plus it just took a long time to get matched up with players and to go from game to game. At least when I was playing, again, I haven't played for well over a year. Maybe it's changed a little bit, but it just seemed like you had to put a lot of work in. You didn't get very much in-game money for the stuff you were doing. It took forever to earn enough to buy, like, just even a halfway decent car that you wanted. And then every week or two, or every month or two, whatever it is, they're always coming out with lots of cool new vehicles that cost millions of in-game dollars that you know you're not going to be able to afford unless you spend 50 hours of gameplay grinding the same missions over and over to get. Or you have to spend $10 of real money or something like that just to get something. And I ain't doing that. So, but I would have zero problem with any of that in Grand Theft Auto if it was just all cosmetic stuff. Like, hey, you want your guy to walk around with this special T-shirt that nobody else has because it looks cool or funny, or you want to have your guy walking around in a bear costume that nobody else has, and you want to spend $10 to get that? Awesome for you. It's going to give you no advantage. You're not going to be able to shoot better. You're not going to be able to drive faster. That would be fine. But the fact that, like, in Grand Theft Auto, like, a lot of the vehicles are better and a lot of the stuff that you can get is superior, it is kind of a little bit of pay to play. Or pay to win, I guess, is what Mikey was saying. Alan, how you doing? Hope you had a great day today. We're just playing a little Farm Sim 19. We're harvesting a field of soybeans, field number 7 here on Ravensport, USA. Or Ravenport, I should say, not Ravensport. And I was thinking of even leasing another harvester, because I do got 2 other fields ready to harvest, but I do have crop withering turned off, so I'm not really worried about the time. No time pressure. The Pickle has just crashed your chat, and now the party can begin. Thank you, Mr. Pickle. Or is Mr. Pickle your father's name? Sorry. I don't mean to be too formal, Party Pickle. Hope you had a good one today, Party Pickle. My day was pretty average. Got a little bit of stuff done. Probably not as much as I should have got done. I checked out Starbuck Jeff's auction for a little bit. I had no idea how much he was selling because he didn't have a list or anything, but it was his first auction, so went in there to support him a little bit, but found out pretty quickly that the stuff he was selling was, most of it, not stuff I was really into, and everybody else was willing to pay a lot more, I guess. So, but I hung out and lurked for most of it while I was getting other stuff done. But I don't know, he was doing that for over 5 hours, so it was tough to keep up with. And Southern Metal Raid? What? Hey there, Lima, how you doing? Well, that's pretty cool. Getting raided. My farm's getting raided. Hold on, let me switch to my defenses. Let me get my defenses up. My farm's getting raided. What are my defenses? I'm not gonna get the train. Here, I'll just protect my dog. Get over here, lady. We're getting raided. We're getting raided, lady. Hunker down, hide in the grass. Let's crouch. Alright, we're good now. We're good. No, lady, come back. No, we're getting raided. Alright, I guess that's fine. The 2-man raid? Alright, I mean, if it was more than that, I was ready to pull out my chainsaw and defend myself. Hope you had a good day today, Lima. Alright, let's see, there's more soybeans. The train just stopped. Right in the middle of the street like it always does. Better than a zero-man raid. That is true. It's infinity% better if you do the math, Party Pickle. Infinity% better. What was going on with Southern Metal? Anything fun? Nice and quiet inside the cab here. All that farm noise outside. Well-insulated harvester. He gave away nickel rolls, and we all hunted a $50 box in a nickel box. Cool. Did you end up getting anything out of it, Lima? So if he was giving away nickel rolls, did you end up winning any of them? Or Pickle, did you get any? Alright, Helper has an 80% grain tank, so I'll be emptying this grain tank shortly. Guess we might as well peek and just see if any other contracts popped up that we have to jump on. Lima got a strange foreign coin from Belarus. Well, it's probably not strange if you're Belarusian, or if you're from Belarus, but sounds interesting. And I guess I could go fertilize these 2 fields for a few grand, but I don't know. Soybeans. Let's check. Are my sunflowers ready to go as well? Let's check. Here's the growth. Let it update. Oh yeah, field 11's in the yellow, ready to harvest. And field 18 is ready to harvest. Do we have a contract to harvest field 18? No, they're holding out on us. Huh. I don't like that. I don't really like that. Someone named Apple User won almost all the giveaways. I did see someone named Apple User in one of the streams not too long ago. Within the last day or two. Don't know them. Alfred R's been lurking. Hey there, Alfred R. Congrats on winning the Kittle Got Game 100 subscriber giveaway. Seeds are coming to Canada. Party Pickle, nothing too much of note. Just a 40D in well-circulated condition. Well, that's why I like Party Pickle when Little Nitrate and Silver Nitrate search nickel boxes and give people rolls. That's why I really like that nitrate exchange they send them. Because, like, if Nightbot picks my name and I get myself like a 1940D nickel, it's like, I mean, it's nice, and I'm not going to turn stuff down if it's just getting mailed to me, but it doesn't seem like it's really worth them putting a stamp on it. And I know the way they do it, you got to, if you want the coins, just send them, I don't know what it is, like $1 or $2, and then they'll mail it to you. It's not really worth doing that. But coins like that, they can just cash in for points for their nitrate exchange, and so you're still winning something. You're just winning a couple points instead of that coin. So I really do like the way they came up with that. How do you get new contracts, says Luke Michael. Well, like right now, I'm looking at these contracts. I don't like these contracts. The only way I can get new contracts is to speed up time. Because the reason those are the only contracts is we've done all the other stuff. We've done all the other fertilizing. We've done... So all that's left is You gotta wait, you gotta speed up time till they get to the next growth stage. So like right now, if I look at our map, around the map, almost every field around the map is just growing right now. It's all in the growth stage, all in the green. And then here's my fields that I'm harvesting, but all these are just green. And if we go over to fertilization, all of them have been fertilized at least once. Many of them have been twice. I mean, I can turn off the lime. These two here have been fertilized twice, but a lot of them have already been fertilized, so there's nothing to do right now. That's why there's not many contracts, because they're all just growing. So I can speed up time until they're ready to harvest, and then if I went over here to the menu, it's going to be full of harvesting contracts. So, but I'm not really in that much of a hurry, and I got my own field to harvest, so... But yeah, if you ever... So whenever you're playing and you just don't like the contracts that are going on, and you want different ones, just go to speed, turn it up to 120 times, let a few hours kick by in the game, and you'll get all new contracts. Not all new contracts, you get several new contracts. Mikey does not have Belarusian coins. Okay. Oh, I missed that one. There's a Russian Kopeck, South African Rand. That's weird. But that's cool, though. Yeah. What else? See the writing on the wall. Wait, what are you talking about? You think it's rigged? What? Whose channel? I guess I missed Lima's comment. Oh, Southern Metal's channel is going to skyrocket someday. He only has 104 supporters and giving away gold. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm subscribed to Southern Metals now that you mentioned that. Not sure. Not sure on that. Mikey, have a good one. Thanks for popping in. Oh, do they post in Discord, Alfred R, that Southern Metals? I'll have to check it out then. Mostly because I want to win gold. You know, I don't care. No, I want to be able to support people that are doing cool stuff, and that other people come in and tell me are worth checking out. I mean, usually I'd, you know, like to just click on, and I might already be subscribed. I don't know if they've ever popped into my streams and stuff before, and I probably have. Or if they subscribe to me, I probably have, because what I do is at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, I'll go into my analytics, where you can see all the people that have subscribed in the last, I think by default it just shows you maybe the last 28 days or maybe last 90 days, whatever it is. And then I'll go through that list and it'll tell you subscribed or unsubscribed right there. And if it's channels I recognize, and especially channels I recognize that have been in my live streams or left comments on videos or something like that, then I'll just go right down the list, click and subscribe to people. Because that's the easiest way for me to subscribe to a bunch of people real easily and check on that. But that only works really for channels that have their subscriptions on public, I guess. I think that only works for that. Later, Pickle? What? You'll be back later. Okay, cool. The amount of gold giveaways lately. Is there not enough of them? Do we need more of them? I mean, I see a couple here and there. What? Rob and Seeker and Raven and Big Mill and JW got together to do that one. And I saw Rob the other night giving away a little nugget. I don't know too many other gold giveaways, but I don't pay attention to everything though either. I mean, I gave away a, what, Dos Peso not too long ago when it was 2,000 subscribers for me. Alfreds are set to private, never bothered figuring it out. Well, if you're not putting out content and you really don't want a bunch of people subscribing to you, then you don't need to do anything. The only time you would need to worry about that, Alfred, is some people in violation of the YouTube rules, like to say, hey, to win my giveaway, you must be subscribed to my channel, and not only must you be subscribed, once I pick your name, I'm going to check to make sure you're subscribed. If they check, and they wouldn't be able to verify you really are subscribed to them. So, you might not get a win that you're entitled to on one of those guys, but they're breaking the rules anyway, so as long as you're not worried about that too much. But yeah, maybe I'm missing a bunch of other gold coin giveaways that I need to be getting in on, I don't know. So I only know that one that I can think of. Limas are set to private because you want them on private, or they are. Nothing bad, just don't want people to have bias against someone you subscribe to. Well, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, the only thing that people might have issues with is, I know, like, you can not only... I mean, if you have it set on public, then yeah, people can go look at your subscriptions and see all the other public channels you're subscribed to. That's fine. In my opinion, that's fine. Maybe you don't want that, or... And I guess if you're subscribed to a bunch of channels you don't want people to know about, then that might be something, but... I mean, you could always have that on a different account, too, if it's something you don't want, you know, people to see for whatever reason. But the other thing is like, I don't know, I see people, you can set up what your featured channels are and who your favorite channels are, and I can see people getting upset about that, because it's like, well, how come those people are your favorite channels and how come I'm not there? Especially channels, once you get your, what is it, when people are doing the memberships and stuff, I see people putting, well, here, I'm going to feature all my top members and stuff. And it's like, well, what about... So, yeah, those are the people paying you $20 a month or whatever to be a member of your channel. But what about all the other people that are paying you $10 or $5 or $2, whatever your tiers are? It's like, why aren't... I mean, don't they deserve... Well, I don't know. So I can see people getting upset about that. Or people that, like, feature some of their friends as featured channels. Well... I see the people you're featuring there, but I thought I was your good friend too. How come you're not featuring my channel? I could just see that causing people to get upset, jealous, you know, whatever you want to say. So, but if it's just set on all the people that you're subscribed to, and you set your subscription on public, I can't imagine anybody going through that list and see, even if there's some channels of people they don't like. No one's going to say, like, oh, wonder why they're... I mean, they're going to know, like, half the people in the community that are subscribed to those people, and really, I mean, I don't know. I was just told when I first started to, like, try to grow my channel about a year ago that you should have your subscriptions on public, because... more people will be able to see that you've subscribed, and they're more likely to check out your channel and things like that. Like, for example, when I'm looking at my subscriptions in my analytics, Lima, sometimes I see people that are subscribed that I really don't know, but if they got a cool name, like Southern Metals, for example, I don't know, I may not, like I said, I may be subscribed to them, I don't even know. But I don't remember watching any of their videos or anything, but I may have subscribed, because they may have subscribed to me and I clicked on their name or something and then clicked subscribe. But yeah, like, so if I saw Lima Echo Numismatics and I never heard of that person, but I see that they subscribed to me in the last 90 days, well, heck yeah, I'm probably going to click subscribe back. Because, hey, look, it's a coin channel, subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back. I might not go right to your channel and watch videos, but I know just by clicking subscribe, you'll start showing up in my subscriptions feed and I'll be able to check you out. So if you're not publicly subscribed, all these other channels aren't going to see that, and you're probably losing out on a bunch of people that could be subscribing back to you. Power dipped and the Wi-Fi went out. That's not good. Gotta have that Wi-Fi. Alright, we are almost a full grain tank again. This thing fills up pretty quick. But it is one of the biggest harvesters, so not sure what I can really do about that. Unless I want to follow it with a truck or something, but I mean, we're pretty close to our silo. It doesn't matter too much. And anybody else streaming right now? That's anything good? Who am I streaming against? Who am I going to be pissing off tonight? Am I streaming? Stealing these 6 viewers away from the rest of the world. Who are we upsetting? Let's see. I can't really check too easily on my phone. I hate that. When I go on my computer and click subscriptions, it shows me all the videos like in the order like of how recent they posted, and then right at the top are live streams that are going. I love that. I love the way it's set up. But when I check subscriptions on my phone, it's like it just seems like it's like in some weird order, and like I think it depends on when they post videos and then when they start streams, so all the live stuff just doesn't show up at first. It's kind of weird. You missed most of the Kittle rant on YouTube subscriptions. Alfred, I'll summarize. Kittle rant, hashtag YouTube subscriptions, subcategory public YouTube subscriptions. So what I think everyone needs to have, if you care about your channel growing, how about this, and you want people to subscribe to you, you must have your YouTube on public, your subscriptions on public. You must. And if you're a channel that puts out content, you need to have your subscriptions in the public. Now, if there's a reason, if the reason you don't want it on public is because you're subscribed to a whole bunch of other non-coin related stuff that you just don't want people knowing about, well, then you need to start a separate channel and have a private personal channel for, if you don't want people to know that you're really a T-Series fan instead of PewDiePie or whatever the reason is. I mean, that's a concern that maybe comes up, and then you just need to do that at personal. Your coin channel, if you're trying to put out content and grow, that shouldn't be an issue. The other thing we talked about is channels that put featured channels. Now, if you just have your subscriptions on public, when I look at your subscription tab, it's just all based on, everything you subscribed is all together in the same category. Rob did 4 in the past month, and Robin Hood did 1. I guess I missed the Robin Hood one. And, yeah, I guess Rob's been giving away pieces. Well, yeah, Rob did the ½ ounce that was donated. I remember that, of course. And then I saw he did that gold nugget. Was it last night? And then the 5-channel one he did with the guys. So anyway, I think you have to have it on public. Now, then we talked about how people do featured channels. I think that just opens up cans of worms. And I think I've done it on my channel, but the only channel I feature on my coin channel is my gaming channel. So I don't think anybody can cry about that, because it's my own channel, right? But if I started featuring, like, for example, I have memberships on my channel. I talked about I see other channels do this. They have a featured category where they feature their highest level of members. Well, if I'm in the mid-tier level of members because I still want to support the channel, or if I'm in the lower tier, I might get upset that basically you're just like, not featuring me when I'm supporting you too, but I just can't do it for $20 a month or $10 or $50 or whatever the highest is. And I don't know. It just seems like I see that could upset people. Then I see others that just feature their friends, right? That's fine. You can feature your friends' channel or people you're tight with. But at some point, there's somebody that you're pretty tight with that's not being featured, and they're going to get upset because they think they might be on the same level as the people you're featured, but you're telling them right there they're not. So the whole featured channel thing, if you're just featuring other, I can just see that causing problems. So we talked about that. Alfred don't care about channel growth, so there you go. But we briefly talked about how if you're not publicly subscribed, you may miss out on being able to enter certain channels' giveaways that are done in violation of the terms of service. Possible. The other thing is like when you subscribe to someone and during their live stream, sometimes you won't pop up on the screen as being subscribed if they have their Streamlabs set up like that because it's not public, and maybe you don't care about that. That's fine. But yeah, I think you need to be, if you're trying to grow, you need to be publicly subscribed because, like I said, I'm not the only one that does this. When I look at all the channels that have subscribed to me recently in my analytics, if I see that you're named Lima Echo Numismatics or so-and-so Coin Hunting or something like that, and it says I'm not subscribed to you, well then, and hey look, I know right there you've subscribed to me, so yeah, I'm going to click you right back, just from that. I might not take the extra step of going to watch your content right now, but I'll at least know that you're a subscriber of mine with a cool name, probably does some stuff about coins, and I'll subscribe to you right then and there, knowing that future videos will show up in my subscriptions feed and I'll be able to check you out. If you're not publicly subscribed to me, I'm never going to know who you are, unless somebody else tells me, or if I just do a random search someday and stumble across you, or if you jump into one of my live streams and start begging me to sub to you. So, if you're trying to grow your channel and you're putting out content, you should absolutely have subscriptions on public, in my opinion. Lima does not want people to subscribe to me just because you subscribe to them, because it's less genuine. You would like for people to come to your channel on your own. But Lima, like my example, like, if you were not in my live streams, and I know you from that, if you just watched a lot of my videos and commented on them, and now if you comment and leave good comments on my video, I'll see you that way, and I would see your name, and maybe I would subscribe to you just from that. That's true. So you don't have to be publicly subscribed for that. But if you were just watching my stuff and decided to subscribe, and maybe you weren't leaving lots of comments, or maybe you left a comment here and there that I just didn't think was good enough to like say, hey, I gotta check this person out, just by showing up in my list of subscriptions and having a name that is about coins, I subscribe to those channels just right automatically, and then because I know I'll be able to see their future content. So I don't know, I'm just convinced that there's very little downside of being publicly subscribed, and the upside, there's so many more opportunities that people will be able to see you. And not only that, I guarantee you there are people out there that look at channels like mine, or like, you know, I'm not saying I'm a huge channel, but my coin channel, they'll look at who I'm subscribed to just to get other ideas of other channels they should be looking for. So if they look at my subscription list and they see like, oh, Lima Echo Numismatics, let's check out that. That's a coin name, and you know, because it's not that easy to find a lot of other channels. Yeah, you can go in and just search for certain topics and videos, and if one of your videos happens to show up, maybe they'll find you. But I'm sure there has been people that have clicked on my list of subscriptions, who I've subscribed to, and then probably clicked a whole bunch of channels that they thought they might like. And if you're not publicly subscribed, you're not one of those channels they're going to find. Matthew Kirby, hello, how are you? Colin S., how are you doing? Thanks for coming in and watching me do a little harvesting of some soybeans here on field number 7. We also have field number 6 ready to harvest of soybeans, and field 13 is ready for sunflower harvest. So we're doing some harvesting this stream. And again, I mean, I probably should already be getting it ready because we've got 2/3 or more of this field harvested. Let's hop out and let our worker finish this. Let's just check the field. We do not need lime, so this field is ready to plant again. So what are we going to plant in field number 7 next? Let's check what's in our silo first. Let's let this save real quick. So in our silos, we got a bunch of wheat. We don't have tons of, what is that one? Barley. We could probably stand to use another field or two of barley. Matthew Kirby says, good, thanks. What about you? I had a pretty good day. I could have been more productive, could have got some more stuff done, but, you know, could be worse too. I could have got nothing done, but... Colin, once again, I suck at emailing. Email me with your PayPal, and I'll send it. Dude, my PayPal is the exact same as my email address. Mike@kittlecoins.com. So, there you go, Colin. And really, no rush. I'm not sweating it, so... Don't worry. So what are we going to plant? So let's look. We're We're harvesting soybeans right now, so that number's going to go up. Sunflowers, we got a whole field to harvest. Canola. I think let's do canola in this field. Yes, we're going to do canola. So let's get our John Deere green boy. That guy's getting close to full. This guy. And let's go find our Vaterstad. Our Vaterstad set up for planting canola. And what we're doing is, if I really was... I mean, I guess there's two ways of what we could be doing right here in Farming Simulator 19. Right now, remember, we're still new in this area. We just moved here not too long ago. And I kind of want to fill that silo with all the different grains. So when we get to the point where... actually, what am I doing? I don't want to be doing green tractor. We're disconnected. Remember last episode, I forgot I even owned this. I spent $500,000 on it, and I forgot I owned it. Look at this. We got Big Red now. Oh yeah. This is what we're doing. This guy's so much more powerful. So, I want to be filling up my silos with a good amount, at least 200,000 liters, which is half of the amount. We can hold 400,000 liters of each crop, but I want at least 200,000 of each in the silo, ready to go, so if we get high demand on anything, we can just go sell for max profit right there and get a little bit of bank. And maybe we want even more than that. Maybe we want a full 400,000 liters of everything. But now that's one approach, and that's the approach I chose so far. The other approach is just selling all this as we harvest, so we can then keep buying more fields and more equipment. But I like to put a little savings in the bank first, and then once that's full, then we get to sell it. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. It's kind of where we're at. Good, you'll get going. Oh, about the PayPal or something maybe? Okay. Nah, that's easy. Where is your daily work like for a... or what's my daily work like for a coin dealer? Lima, it's, well, let me get this started, and we'll chat about that. Let's do canola. I want to do. I'm gonna lower this, turn it on, and get going. And that there is planting canola. Let me cycle back over to the guy that's the full grain tank, and we'll go empty this. So what do I do on the daily as the coin dealer? Well, again, I'm only part-time coin dealer. I got other work to do too, because I'm also part-time attorney. Is there another conversation going? Why does the counter keep going up? That is just something that's going on PlayStation right now, Colin. It happened last stream as well. I had over 3,000 comments. So that pops up by PlayStation because I don't have this chat on the screen. I'm looking at it on my phone, but it doesn't know I have phones in here. It's just kind of like a heads up, hey, someone just joined your stream or someone just left a comment. So normally when I see that pop up, I'll look down at my phone to see who just left a comment, but it seems like people are commenting every minute or every couple seconds, and I don't know. They're not showing up on the screen. They didn't show up in the chat replay. It seems like I'm getting spammed by bots through PlayStation, perhaps, and YouTube's blocking it, or PlayStation's blocking it. I'm guessing YouTube's blocking it because it's showing, like, PlayStation's picking it up. We've had 1,500 some comments, but I don't know. So it's kind of annoying, but... So, what do I do daily as a coin dealer? Well, there's always emails to answer because people ask questions, and sometimes I'm good at that, sometimes I get bad at it. I always get, I have stuff listed on eBay, so people sometimes leave offers that I gotta then look up and reply to. What else are just some basic stuff that I always gotta do? I mean, I'm always trying to figure out, well, am I gonna post a coin video today? And then if I am, what am I gonna do? And if that's the case, then I gotta either shoot the video, then write the description, edit the thumbnail, edit the photo, first take photos, edit the photos. There's always updating things on my website, which I haven't been doing that a lot lately. But a lot of it's, I go around to certain places where I buy coins online, I check their new inventory, or certain auctions. If it's a day where there's auctions, I got to check those, see if there's anything I need to buy or things I want to bid on. Because part of selling coins is one thing, but you got to always keep buying coins too, because otherwise you'll run out of inventory, and that's not good. So just always shopping for coins. And then if I've sold anything or done giveaways and all that, then there's always a bunch of going through the emails, hounding people, give me your addresses, and then there's printing labels, packing up packages. It's a lot of stuff. The glitch is happening to everyone. Oh, thanks, Tryhard. Appreciate that. And that's what I just mentioned that in the beginning of the stream, that since it's happening again today when I'm playing, I was going to probably go on to Google and just search to see if, because I figured if it's happening to me twice in a row, it might be happening to other people, so. Very cool. Don't forget the how much is this, I do get some of those. And that is one reason that I badmouth and I'll say I unsubscribe to all those coin channels. And I don't call them out by name usually, but you guys all know who we're talking about. The people that say, do you have this coin that's worth $5,000? Do you have this? Or do you have $10,000 in your change? And do you have this rare variety? Check your change for this. And all those people unsubscribe immediately when I see them doing that clickbait BS, because those people cause me and most other coin dealers, most other legit coin dealers in this country, a big headache. Because those guys get a bunch of views and of rookie collectors that don't know any better, or newbies, which I'm not faulting them, and then they call their local coin shop when they find a 1984 Lincoln cent, thinking it's worth 5,000 bucks, and then we have to be the bad guys telling them that their coin is worth nothing, and then they don't trust us because, hey, some guy on YouTube said it's worth a lot of money. And I'm like, no, he didn't. He said there might be one error coin or one special version of it that's worth the money, and usually it's not anyway. Those guys, I mean, I don't know. It's bad for the hobby, and they know it, or they should know it. They should know better, but they're just doing it for the views. They're doing it for the clickbait. They're doing it to get extra subscribers, and they're doing it for the money. They're doing it to line their own pockets. They don't give a damn about the hobby. And you guys all know who I'm talking about. I don't need to be the one that names names. You get me in this stream a little bit longer, I play a little bit longer, I get a little bit tired. Maybe I'll throw out some names, but I try not to do that because that does no good. But they all know who we're talking about. They know what they're doing is horrible for this hobby of coins. So, try hard. No, we were just talking about because most of I have my other channel is a coin channel, and a lot of the people in here watching right now are from other coin channels, just hanging out, and so that's why I talk about coins all the time. And there are channels out there that put out videos like, hey, do you have this coin in your pocket change that's worth $8,000? And what it is they pick some common date that every single person, if you look in your change, you'll find one of them. Let's just say a year 2010 Lincoln cent, right? Only 10 years old. You search your piggy bank, you're going to find 10 of them. No problem. And there might have been one example of that was actually an error coin that was made improperly at the mint. So it's a unique coin that you'll never ever find in your change. You don't own it, but it was a unique special error that was made, and maybe that sold at auction for $8,000 one time. But there's zero chance of you having it or finding one in your pocket change. But they do this whole YouTube video with a clickbait thumbnail to say, hey, do you have this 2010 coin in your change that's worth $8,000? Yeah, if you're new to coins, you're going to say, wow, there's something that's only 10 years old that's worth $8,000 that I could find in my change. I'll click on that. And it's complete garbage. And it's horrible for the hobby, because then when you find your 2010 coin, not knowing why that other one was special, you're going to call up your local coin dealer, like me, or you're going to send me an email, and then I have to be the bad guy telling you what you found is worth nothing, and then you're going to be pissed off at me because you thought you had $8,000, and I just told you have nothing. So I'm the bad guy, because some other jerk out there is putting out clickbait videos that they know are false and misleading and bad for the hobby. So, anyway, that's what I was talking about, Tryhard. You seen the other channel? Cool, thanks. The 1970D quarter. I don't know what that one is, but I know when I see people like that, I mean, really, I feel strong enough about it. I should stay subscribed. Sorry, I can't talk right now because I'm getting a little bit on a rant here. I should stay subbed. Man, say that 5 times fast. I should stay subscribed to all those channels, and every time they put out videos, I should dislike them on all my different accounts, just to show how much I hate that. And I should leave comments saying what you're doing is wrong on all of my channels, and then like all of my comments with all my different channels on their threads. But they would just ban me real quick anyway, and really, I just don't have time to be following these few channels around and disliking all their clickbait crap. So it's a lot easier for me to unsubscribe to them. So 1970D quarter. Which one about that one, Colin? Oh, like the one that was struck on the barber coin that got famous and sold for like tens of thousands of dollars. I'm sure they put out videos saying, "Do you have a 1970D barber quarter in your change that could be worth $20,000? Do you? Well, check. Leave a comment below if you have any 1970D quarters." Yeah, come on. What a bunch of garbage. Yeah, and they put the videos out about every day. Look, you can pick, Colin, you can pick any date at random right now. Even a date as recent as like a few years ago. And I can go on the Heritage auctions and find an example that sold for over $1,000. Any date. Oh, and probably of any denomination. There'll be an example that sold for $1,000 or more. It'll either be an ultra high grade example that you'll never find in change. Those only come out of, rolls straight from the mint or out of mint sets. Or they're just so rare that you need to be an expert to even know what to look for on one. So you'll never find those. Or it's an error coin that is unique. And the chances of finding another one are like 0. And some of the errors are impossible to find in rolls. You can only find them in bags because the error coin itself won't fit in a roll because it's like so weird. But yeah, they know exactly what they're doing as well. Gives them views, and commenting puts them... Yeah, and that's the thing. They get a bunch of views on that clickbait, and then when they do it again and they get a bunch of subscribers because of that, and then when they do the next clickbait video, it's just a cycle that repeats itself. And the reason they're doing that is because those views equal dollars. They're doing it to make money. They don't care about the hobby and what they're doing. They don't care about all the new collectors out there that are going to be hunting their piggy banks and their change and going to the bank trying to get rich. They don't care at all. They're doing it for money, and that's it. And it's sad that more people don't see that. Anywho. Yeah. And I thought about it. I mean, I guess you might be able to tell I feel strongly about that. But I actually feel strong enough about it that I actually thought about doing a few videos like that. Now hear me out. I'm not going to be the total clickbait guy. Of course, my video will be clickbait. But I thought about... There's a couple channels in particular that we all know that do it daily, videos like that. I would have to search because I don't even remember, because I unsubscribed to them pretty much immediately when I saw they did that. You find these channels just trying to search out new, when you're trying to grow your channel, hey, let's try to find the big channels and see what they do, and then you see what they do and you're like, okay, I'm not doing that. No. Colin's throwing out a name there. Again, I'm not going to throw out names, but there are some bad ones out there for sure. But like I thought about following around one of those channels, just an example. But again, I don't really want to make enemies. I mean, there's no reason to do that, but just I could do it to make a point. So when they put out their video, for example, hey, look, Colin brought up 1970D. Hey, do you have a 1970D quarter in your change that could be worth $7,000? Well, let's see. and then, but, so whenever they put out their daily video, I would do the exact same video, okay? My thumbnail would be similar, but my own. I would be copying them. So I would put out within an hour, do you have a 1970D quarter in your pocket change worth $7,000? And then I would just say, no, you don't. And then that would be my video. Or I'd say, no, you don't. The one that the guys are telling you is worth this much is an error coin that was sold on Heritage for that. It was a unique coin. It was special. You're never going to find that in your pocket change. Don't bother looking for it. Don't call your local coin store. And anyone telling you you have the chance of finding this in your pocket change is committing fraud, basically. They're lying to you. So I would do that every day. I would have a quick 30, because I could say that pretty fast, 30-second video. The next day they would say, do you have a 1999 dime that's worth $3,000? Check your chain. The next day I would put out a video, or right an hour later I'd put out a video. Do you have a 1999 dime worth $3,000? I'd say, no, you don't. The one the guy's telling you that's worth $3,000 was struck on a cent, or was struck on a special planchet, or it had an error. Here's the Heritage auction. A couple people bid on it. You're never going to have that. Your dime's worth 10 cents. Quit looking. And then I would do that every day for a while, and it might be fun. I don't know. But then I think the problem is those big channels that do that have a bunch of loyal followers that have zero experience in coins other than what they're hearing from these clickbait artists. And I just don't need to bring a bunch of negative attention to my own content, and I don't need to start a war with people just because. But I don't know, I kind of feel strongly enough about it, and it does hurt the hobby, that I might do that someday. So I might honestly try to start collecting coins. Try hard. I mean, think about it. Have you ever saved any coins in your life? I mean, they got the quarters out there with all the different states. You got bicentennial coins. Has anyone ever given you a coin as a gift, or have you ever gotten a coin from like a parent or a grandparent? I mean, most people have saved at least one coin or a medal or a token they got from somewhere. Like, you might even have some tokens from somewhere. Like, I don't know. Most people are coin collectors of some sort without even really realizing it. You don't have to have a full set, or you don't have to have $1,000 coins, or you don't have to have gold coins or silver coins to be considered a coin collector. You might have already saved something on your own and just don't really consider it collecting, but it is. So, very close to unfollowing some channels. I mean, yeah, I mean, and it takes me a lot to unsubscribe from someone, because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that, and I've unsubscribed to other channels just because they put out too much content. When I go to look through my subscriptions, when I want to see, hey, what's everybody putting out today? And if I see, like, the same channel putting out, like, 20 videos a day, and they're all videos that, like, are pretty poor, in my opinion, or stuff that I don't want to watch, I'm going to unsubscribe you, because I don't need to see your 20 videos a day of, so sorry. But if you're a channel that only puts out, like, one video a week, and even if it's garbage and I don't want to watch it, I'm going to say subscribe to you, because, yeah, I can handle one video a week showing up on my subscription wall that I'm not going to watch, but, I mean, because maybe you'll put something out that will be interesting to me someday, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, there's some that I just had to get rid of, because I just don't think what they're doing is correct. Try hard. If you're really interested and you want to like learn a little bit more about coins, send me an email with your address and I'll mail you a red book. The red book is the guide on US coins. It basically, in the beginning, it'll give you a little history about, you know, why we have coins, how we came up with coins, the dollar and everything. It'll give you a little bit of history about coin collecting, about 10 pages, 12 pages. It's not that hard to read. And then it goes through every US coin that's ever been made. Like, starts at the colonial coins before we were even the US. And it starts at, and I can't even remember, try hard, are you in the US? Because if you're in the US, I can send you, but if I can't remember if you're not in the US, then maybe might not be able to help you. But it goes through all the different coins, all the mintages, values, how to grade them, and they're usually like $10 brand new, but I got a bunch of copies of like year or two old examples that I usually send to kids to try to get them into collecting. But if you're serious, and especially if you're in the US, I'll send you a copy. like to subscribe to coin channels if they have a good camera and some fine videos. Well, yeah, absolutely. From the north of Ireland, yeah, so that might not be too helpful to get you a U.S. book, and it would probably be more expensive for me to send you a book to Ireland than you could probably just buy the same book off of Amazon if you were into U.S. coins, but and the thing about, and I'm guessing I know Ireland has a little bit different coins, but I know the coins in Great Britain, at least, when they changed from the old system of the, what was it? You had so many pence and then shillings, and you had the farthings and all that stuff. When we went from that to the decimalization of coins, where you have the 10 pence, the 20 pence, the 50, and all that, they took all the silver out of coins, so really you can't find a lot of old coins in your change there. Like here in the United States, if you get a box of the 1 cent coins, the Lincoln cents from the bank, you can find Indian cents from the 1800s. It's still possible. It's rare, but it can happen, you know. And same thing with our, you know, dimes. You can go get a box of 10-cent coins, the dimes, and you can find a 100-year-old silver coin in there because it's all the same size and the same denomination, so it's possible. So it's kind of fun. So I don't know if that's the same thing in Ireland. I think you guys did something similar. They changed the decimalization, so it's really hard to find old coins. And I don't know offhand, like, whether of any good books on Irish stuff, or anywhere to start. But yeah, that's the thing. You just start looking through change, looking through the parents' change, what they got, and try to collect one of each date if that's interesting to you, or something like that. Yeah. You're annoyed now? You wanted coins that are rare? Well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know Ireland coin. There might be some stuff that's rare. I don't know. But I just know, like, from watching other channels that search British coins in Great Britain, at least, and there's really nothing old. Now, there are some that are worth collecting, and I did see Roland 106. I saw you come in there. Hello. Thanks for, I am playing on PS4, yes. And we're on the Ravensport map, and we're harvesting some soybeans on field number 6, which I own. So, and next we got a field right over there in the distance. That's field 13. We got some sunflowers to harvest. And we just planted some canola on field 7, which we got to take a look at in a second. But just because there's no old coins potentially tryhard does not mean there's nothing of value. Like, I can watch the guys in, you know, Great Britain, which I don't know if you have totally separate coins in Ireland or if it's basically the same stuff that are, you know, in England, but they do their commemorative 50-cent pieces. So they have coins like with Paddington Bear, and they have the different Olympic coins from the 2012 Olympics, and they have all kinds of different, they call them circulating commemorative coins. And then they have the 10 pence coins that have the letters on them, A through Z, with all the different stuff. Some of those are actually more rare. Like, there's some of the 50 pence coins. There's one, I think, from 2016 even, or maybe it's 2015, that if you can find that in your change for 50 pence, it's worth over £100. So there are some rare coins, modern coins, that you can find in Great Britain. I don't know about Ireland, though, in particular. Yeah, Alfred Arbor, that's the one I'm thinking of. Kew Gardens, worth way more than Facebook. I think that's worth over £100 if you find one in good shape. So there are some stuff to find. And then if you really get into it, I'm sure you can buy the collector's sets straight from the mint. But starting out, there's stuff that I'm sure you can find. You just got to find like a website that's specific to what you can find in your area. And then once you start looking through your parents' change or your own change and stuff like that, or if you start getting into it and you go to the bank, or I know sometimes in Europe you got to go to the post office to get lots of coins because the banks don't give them to you. Then you'll have a better idea what to look for once you find a website, or maybe there's even a YouTube channel that you can find that searches like from your area, and you'll have an idea what to look for. But you call it the north of Ireland, but you're in Northern Ireland. Okay. You got this on Xbox a couple of weeks ago and can't put it up rolling. Dude, I mean, tell me about it. This was one of the free games for PS Plus in May. So I downloaded it like kind of in the beginning of May. And I say I downloaded it almost kind of as a goof, right? Because I saw a lot of articles. Everybody was complaining, oh my god, Farming Simulator, the free game. Do I really... How exciting is that going to be? You're going to be driving around tractors and farming? Give me a real game. And there was a whole bunch of articles about, like, you know, kids upset because you're at home on lockdown because of COVID and all this. Give me a good free game to play. Don't give me Farming Simulator. So there's all these, like, people doing petitions. Pick a different game, Sony, please. And I'm like, alright, I'll download it and play it. How bad can it be, right? And I also like sim games. I used to play Sim City as a kid and different games like that, so... But yeah, I've been been pretty much hooked on it. Addicted, we may say, so... I don't know. Lima says, well, if we can find foreign coins, we can find pennies and quarter rolls, in theory they could. Yeah, it's possible, but, you know, like searching through a box of 2,500 cents that we get, the number of, you know, foreign coins we find is a few, not many. Not many. And if you're in an area where they have Euro coins in Europe, then you can collect coins from all the different countries, but really, most of them are pretty new, so they're not going to have too many that are, like, you know, super valuable. But then again, there are some that are lower mintage than others that carry a little bit more of a premium, so I'm not saying there's none. You just have to find out what coins you get in your area and figure out which are the ones you need to hunt for, because I can't really help you because I don't know what's circulating there in Northern Ireland, and I don't know Irish coins, and I don't know the British stuff enough. If you get the British coins, and just don't know that stuff enough. Matthew has a 1 cent coin. It's great. You know what? I put well over 100 hours into it, which is kind of crazy. And I haven't done any of the mods yet, and I've only been on this one map. I haven't even done the other map. I mean, I got a friend that I watch sometimes. He plays the Felsburn map, and it's cool, and I can see... I'll try it out eventually, but I've just been stuck on this one map because, you know... it takes long enough, even with the crop growth turned up fast and everything. And I mean, I don't really fast forward the time too much. Like, instead of just making my crops grow fast and keep harvesting, I do a lot of the contracts and things like that. So I guess we'll just do another field of canola here. What the heck? Yeah, I gotta line that up better. I don't like how I line that up. Alfred drank too much tea. What? We'll get rid of that sign right there. I didn't put that sign there. Baled 44 round bales. Oh, dude, that's the one thing I refuse to do, are round bales. Just doesn't seem... I guess if you have a mod, though, because I guess there are some modded trailers and stuff, and there are different mods you can get that make those easier to pick up and deal with. But as of right now, I don't do any bales at all. Like, if I'm picking up straw, I just line that up wrong, too. Let's try one more time, though. Because I'm not good at backing up this big rig here with all that behind me. The square bales are a lot easier to stack up and do all that, but from what I can tell in the bales, you might as well just get the loading wagon and just collect the straw and sell the straw directly if all you're doing is selling it. Because you get the same exact price for loose straw as you do a bale. There's no advantage of doing the bales unless you're going to stack them somewhere and want them to look pretty. At least that's what I could figure out. Daniel Roberts, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hello. Thanks for coming in. On the Germany map? Okay. Alfred finds one non-US coin, non-US foreign per bag. Okay. Northern Ireland uses pound sterling. Republic of Ireland uses euros. Okay. But in Northern Ireland, is it all separate coins, or is it the same stuff the people get in London? That's what I don't know. Because if it's the same stuff that people down in London get, then I kind of have an idea what some of the better stuff and what you can find. If it's all different stuff specific to Northern Ireland, then I have no clue what you can find there. No mods. Oh, okay. Oh, if you're doing the wrapping and you're trying to do silage, then that does make sense. So if you're getting the money for silage bales, then yes, it's worth baling them, for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, the round ones, I don't know. They just seem like they're a little bit more of a pain in the butt to pick up and stack and get on the trailers and stuff. The American money system's optimized for collectors, fractions of 100. Yeah, it works out. We had decimalization and Lima. If you ever seen the 1993 Jefferson coin and currency set, it's actually 1994. 1994 Jefferson coin and currency set. Comes with a $2 bill, a Jefferson commemorative silver dollar, and a matte-proof Jefferson nickel. It's a pretty cool set in and of itself. It also comes with a booklet about the decimalization, the decimal coinage system, because Thomas Jefferson was the one that, or one of the people that proposed that we do a decimal coin system, unlike England had at the time, and it went over like all the benefits. So there's a little booklet that comes with that set that's really good and all about that. So planting the canola, looking good. I don't know if I really need this much more canola, but it was already set up, so why not? So why the heck not? And we're gonna get some emails about stuff. That's fine. What else we got going on here? Roland says, jumped around different maps looking for a good combination of small fields. Pacific North. See, I'll just show you what I did, Roland. So here we got the Ravensport map to start out with. When you start out, I started on beginner mode, right? So I started out down here on the fields they give you 19, 24, 25, and 26. You got your farmhouse, a barn. They give you all this. You get a nice silo, nice little starting place. They give you some crappy tractors and stuff too. But so they start out with these 3 little fields. I farmed down here for a while and learned the game. And then I plowed these 3 fields in the one big field. And you can still tell that's how I did it. But now that I sold all this, the AI treats them as 3 little fields again, even though there's a bunch in between. And then I took my field 19, and there's a big hill behind it. I cut down a bunch of trees and just made it one big field on the hill. So I was down here farming for a while, and then started getting bigger tractors and wanting to do bigger stuff. So I sold everything down there, and now I got these fields here, 12, 13, and then 6 and 7, and then I bought the biogas plant because the biogas plant has this nice little flat chunk of land right in the middle here where I put my house and then a silo and then the hayloft. So it's like right in the middle of all these farms that I own now, and they're bigger farms. And then eventually, when I get the money, I'll buy field 8, 11, 9, 10. So I'll have all this right here in the middle of the map, real easy to deal with, easy to drive around with the big tractors, and still not too bad to get to the shop when I need to. But where they start you out in the map in the bottom corner just sucks. So so I'm glad I sold all that and got into here, because I like the big fields, and then I can still do contracts if I want to make more money on all the other fields in the game. Seems like, speaking of contracts, let's see if there's any available that we want to do. Looks like just a bunch of fertilizing contracts, a couple transporting, and then some baling contracts. So nothing that we want to do. Actually, we need to get this harvester out of the way because it's full. And we're probably going to have to cancel that helper J planting canola here because it's going to run into where we harvested here any second. U.S. Mint purposely makes coins for collectors, about 50%. Or most foreign mints, you know, make coins for collectors too, to some degree. Even if it's just whatever just making a special set of whatever, just a mint set of what's already going to circulation and just selling nice sets straight from the mint. Most mints do something like that because it makes them so much money, you know. If you could just take the same coins you're already selling and just make a nicer version of it and sell it for 50 times as much as you get for the others, I mean, it makes sense to do that. Banknotes are different, coins are the same. Okay. Well, that's good then. So yeah, try hard. If you got the same kind of coins they got down in London and everything, then what you need to do is watch, I might have this totally wrong, okay? I think the guy's name is Christopher Collects. I don't know if anybody searches that or if anybody subscribed to him. I think it's, or it might be something similar. Kind of is a younger guy, and I don't want to be rude, but a little bit of a goofy, you know, a little fun, likes to have fun, a little strange, I guess. Like, he wears a fez hat in his videos, like when he's doing his live streams, which is, I don't know, maybe that's different in Europe, but it's just a little odd, you know. But hey, look, a lot of YouTubers, you gotta be different and separate yourself, and he says Holy Toledo all the time, which is interesting. But anyway, he searches coins, and he's in Great Britain there. So, and what he does is he does mostly live searches of 50 pence coins, and then he does £2 coins, I believe. Because those, there are circulating commemoratives to find in both of those that are worth money. Like, way more than face value. Not way more in all cases, but you can find something worth way more. But even there's some that are better, to where if it's a 50 pence coin that all of a sudden you could sell for £1 or £2, then hey, look, you're making money, you're profiting. And there's a bunch of different ones to collect if you just want to collect them. I believe it's Christopher Collects. I only watched him a few times, or something similar to that. So I would look into that. Hey there, Ebex Gaming, how you doing? Is that correct, Colin? Have you seen him too? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? I hope that's right, because I want to be telling Tryhard the right information, because I would definitely check him out, or watch a few of his videos, and you'll see the coins that he's always looking for. And the same with the 10 pence coins. He's always looking for the different letters on the 10 pence coins, because some of them are, I guess, tougher to find than others, and there are a lot of collectors. Okay, yeah, so Tryhard, I would definitely check his stuff out. And then also, by watching him, you'll find out where he gets his coins. I think he goes to post offices, and he can buy, like, and they don't do them in rolls there, like, you buy, like, little bags of, like, 50 pence coins and £2 coins. They sell them in little baggies, I guess you can get them from the post offices. Here in America, we just go to our bank and say, yeah, give me a few boxes of dimes, or give me a few boxes of cents, and we can pretty much get whatever we want. And if they don't have them, we tell them to order them, and, you know, a week later we'll go there and we'll have as much as we want. But I guess you can't do that there. You can't just go to your bank and say, give me as many coins as I want. Not everybody can, so he gets them from the post office. And I remember in one video he got real excited because he bought enough. Like, I think he bought, like, I don't know, a couple £100 worth of 50 pence coins. And one of the big bags that had a bunch of little bags of them in there, like, was wrapped up and sealed, like, back in 2017. So it was already, like, it was sitting there at the post office for, like, 3 years before someone bought it or needed that change. So he got real excited because I guess the big one he's always looking for, I think it's 2016, the Kew Gardens. And he's like, wow, this one's only, this, you know, it's only a bag, it's a bag from 2017, so we're going to have a way better chance of finding those older coins that have already been pulled out of circulation, you know, so So it's kind of cool. So that's maybe something to consider if you want to give it a shot, or if that's interesting to you. But remember, you just got to have fun with it. You know, don't do it with the plan of getting rich quick or whatever. But it's possible. It's possible to find something good. All right, that guy is doing that. I gotta turn this around. Make sure it's off so I don't wreck my other field here. It's off. And did I even check this to make sure I didn't have to put lime down first? I hope I checked. Let's check. Oh no, it does need lime. I didn't lime the field first. Dang it. Oh boy. That's not good. Well, I guess we're just gonna do one. We're just gonna grow it this time, needing lime. So we're gonna have a reduced yield. Let's see how bad of a mistake that was. Not checking before I planted the next crop. So when we go in here to advance, we'll find where lime is in here. Does it even say? I know I'm scrolling fast and you probably can't see it. Lime and herbicide. Lime can be bought in pallets at the shop. Very helpful menu there. Not. I think it might be under somewhere else. It tells you. Hold on. Improving yield. So to obtain a 65% yield bonus, you need to spread fertilizer twice, so you get 25% bonus each time you do that, and spread lime every 3 harvests. You get a 15% bonus. So I'm going to lose 15% of my yield bonus. So on my field, if I do everything else perfectly, instead of getting a 65% bonus, I'm only getting a 50% bonus. So it's really not that big of a deal that I missed doing the lime this one time. So that's good to know that I didn't totally ruin it. I didn't totally screw up. I screwed up a little bit, but I didn't totally screw up. I think I got that correct. Alright, you're doing that. Gotta clean up the pigs, I just noticed cycling through. This guy here is done now. With that field. Yeah, Colin, I believe that's yeah, they don't do the rolls, they just do little baggies of coins, which is interesting. I think they still come in 250 pounds, I guess is what it would be, yeah. We found a 10p that says DGR... No. That's, I think they also say that, because it's, there's like, where it'll have the queen, and then there's all the different initials. It's like, I forgot what it even stands for. It's some Latin. It basically says, there'll be Elizabeth, and then it's like her grace under God, and it's like initials for, like, some of that. And if you're ever wondering if it's something special, look at a couple of them next to each other. So if you have that 10 pence coin, look at like 2 or 3 other 10 pence coins. If they all have the same thing, it's probably not special. But if you have one that's a little bit different, then you might have something. It's got some connection. Colin, I don't know if it's something special, too. I don't know if it's a special connection, because if you're talking about Christopher Kleck's, I've seen how he goes in and can get new things from the Royal Mint when they come out. I think that's just something that's open to the public, though. I don't think it's just him. So when the new coins come out, for example, like they came out with, at the beginning of this year, I believe they came out with a 50 pence coin about the Brexit, like a Brexit coin. And if you went to the Royal Mint on the first day, you could actually strike one and get a special one right from the Royal Mint. I think that was open to anybody, not just him. But I know he must live in an area close by to the Royal Mint, or he just takes the time to go each time to take advantage of those offers. And then he might be able to get more than one if he, you know, buys duplicates from people or something. That's possible. I don't know, but I don't think he has any special connections that I know of. I don't watch tons of his videos, so. Is pence the same as pennies? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So we're going to put on our sunflower header here. Sunflower / corn header. And get this guy heading over to field numero 13. Brexit is exit. Yeah, there was the Brexit coin they came out with, the 50 pence to commemorate that whole thing. Let's just get this guy started while we're here. I'm going to switch over to the other guy, but while we're here we might as well get this started. Lower the header and turn on the harvester and start getting these sunflowers. Perfect. Let's get back to this. Now let's just make sure this guy finished the whole field as far as plowing it. By grace of God, Queen, Defender to Faith in Latin. Yeah, and different... Thanks for that, Alfred, because in different coins, sometimes the abbreviations are slightly different, depending on the size of the coin and how much room they have to write. Well, I would guess if it was up to the Queen, they'd probably write the full thing out on every coin, but I don't think they do that. So, yeah, look, right here again, this guy missed this little corner of the field for some reason. So I'm going back and getting that, because I don't want him missing that. I want to farm my entire field, please. So we have both cents. We have cents, and they have pence and penny. Yeah, well, pence is the plural. Like, they don't say 10 pennies on their coin. It's a 10 pence coin. They don't say cents at all. Because we say cents because more than 1 cent is cents. More than 1 penny, they don't say... I mean, I guess they say if they have, like, 2 penny coins, they would say they have 2 pennies. But a 2-cent coin wouldn't be a 2-cent coin because they don't have a cent. So it's a 2 pence. That's what it is there, Lima. So their 10-cent coin, since they don't have the cent, is called a 10 pence. If that makes sense, as in S-E-N-S-E, not C-E-N-T-S. See what I did there? Yep. Alright, so we got that little corner that our helper missed. He had the dinosaur series weeks before they were available online. Suppose they do put a... Well, yeah, and so maybe he's got a hookup at his local post office that distributes the coins, or he can get them at. I could see that. I believe something similar happened in Australia, because I know Richo's Hunting Treasure, they had some, I think they had the coins with letters on them there too. And I want to say, I mean, I might have this totally wrong, but I think Richo's Hunting Treasure said you were only supposed to be able to get a couple coins per day from the post office. But I think he was in there asking about them, and I think they just gave him a full set, just so he didn't have to come back every day or wait for certain letters to come out. They knew him or something, so they said, here, yeah, we'll hook you up with a full set. So I'm sure that, and same thing in America with our W quarters. A lot of the banks and different companies that do the rolls, they have those W's before they're supposed to release them. They're just told you can't give these out by a certain date, but you know that they're giving them to certain people early because we've seen it here on YouTube. Whether they do it on purpose or by mistake, who knows? Oh, I did miss a question earlier. I forgot who asked it. You guys, or Daniel Roberts, I'm sorry if you're still listening. My opinion on the best way to sell your San Francisco enhanced reverse proof. Probably eBay. I know it sucks if you have an eBay account though, but that's where you'll do the best with it. I think. I don't know for sure because that's not one that I bought or I got into. If it's a graded coin, you might have. I mean, you can look up what others are selling for, and you might be able to sell it through Facebook or something like that if you're asking about the same price that they're selling. But I mean, I don't know. If you're still in here and have questions, but yeah, I would say probably eBay is your best chance to get full value. Otherwise, you'd go to a local coin shop or something like that, and unless they're familiar with that and what they're going for, I don't know. I mean, you might get way under market for that. Since I'm with people who will understand your excitement, you bought 15 Silver Eagles for $19.28. That is exciting. You want to sell them for 20 bucks each? I'll buy them all. I don't care what year they are. I don't care what condition they're in. Gonna spend your day looking at coin? Try it, Jay. Just remember, have fun with it, and maybe you'll find something cool. Or maybe you'll learn a little bit about. I mean, that's one reason I like coins too. It's not only about. First of all, I like money. I mean, most of us like money, so it's like, yeah, well, you might as well collect money, right? Worst case, if you at the end of your hobby, even if everything you collect has no extra value, you at least still have some cash you can spend. Cool. A lot of people have hobbies. They spend all this money on like stuff, and then it ends up being totally worthless. At least we have money. But I also like the history, so you can look at, oh, well, why is this design the coin, or stuff like that, or when you're looking at your commemorative coins, the circulating commemoratives, like maybe you'll find that Kew Gardens coin or whatever, the 50 pence, and then you'll wonder, well, what the hell is Kew Gardens? And you can look that up and learn something about your country, because I don't know what it is, but maybe you know already, but maybe you don't. And so I don't know, there's a lot of stuff like that, and you can learn a lot too. So it is kind of cool. So we're going to clean up the pigs a little bit. We filled our bucket. That's how you clean the pigs. You pick up their food and you dump it right back in the same spot. Interesting. Perfect. I think your local coin store had it backwards, but didn't care how much. Hey, you know what? That means, you know what? Sometimes the local coin shops will hook people up too, especially if you've been in there a bunch. Maybe where they screwed up, Colin, is maybe they paid the guy before too little, and then they said, hey, look, we only got to make a certain amount per coin. Maybe they just passed the deal along to you. Who knows? So you could buy the full set from the post office. Okay, so maybe I had that wrong. I thought for some reason maybe they hooked Richos up, or maybe they gave them more than one set when they were only supposed to give them one set, Alfred. I thought for some reason Richo was getting a hookup there and getting a good deal. I don't know. Yeah, Daniel Roberts, I think the problem is if you don't sell on eBay a lot, the fees are there, and then you got a little bit of risk depending on the value and what you get for it. But if there are customers out there buying those at full price, they're going to be on eBay, and there's probably enough people there looking right now and enough of them on there to where you'll just be another one in the big mix-up pile. No one's going to care. No one's going to pick your coin apart and tell you it's not worth anything because there's another dozen of them selling every day on there. So that's going to be where you're going to get whatever the retail going rate is. You'll get it. You'll have to pay your however many % fees. You'll have to get it in the mail by a certain time. And as long as you're taking payment by PayPal and following all the eBay rules and all that, the chances of getting screwed on the deal are pretty much nothing, because even if the seller or the buyer for some reason tries to screw you over, eBay should cover you, or PayPal should cover you. So it's not It's not super risky, or anything, but... Now, what you could do first is look up what the average going price on eBay is for whether you have yours uncertified or whether yours is certified, whatever it is. Look up what the going price is, and I don't know the numbers. I haven't followed them at all, but just whatever it is. And then figure out, like, take 20% off of that, because you got to figure, if you don't have an eBay store, the total fees are going to be at least, I think they're like 10, 12%, plus you got 3% PayPal fees. And then I figured, just add another 5%, kind of for pain in the butt factor, to pack it up and ship it and all that stuff. Just figure, take 20% off the going rate. And then, whatever that number is, call up your local coin shop and see what they would pay you. Call them up and say, hey, I got this coin, it's this, exactly this, you know what we're talking about. What would you give me for it? I'd like to sell it today. And if it's close to that number of what you can get on eBay minus the 20%, maybe it's worth just taking to the coin shop and getting the cash and not having to deal with the hassle. If you have a local coin shop or someplace you can sell like that, it's possible when you get there to sell, and if there's other stuff you want to buy and you don't need the cash that much, you just want to get rid of that coin, say, hey, you know, there's a lot of stuff here I'm interested in. Would you do better if I take all of it and store credit? Most coin shops, if say they would offer you, I know those are the wrong numbers, but if they were going to offer you $100 for the coin and you thought that was a fair price, if you asked that, hey, what would you give me in store credit? Most of them would give you like maybe 110 or 125 or something if you would take it all in store credit, you know, and spend it right then and there on more stuff of theirs, because they know they're going to make money on that stuff you're buying too. So just another thing to think about. That's why Lima likes the commemorative halves. Yep. Lots of cool stuff, lots of cool things to read, and a lot of history about them for sure. Instead of spending your day doing nothing... Oh, I saw that. That's fun, try hard. Good luck with that. I think maybe that's what it was. I think maybe he got an extra set or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it totally wrong, too. Apparently the emergency release has a weak strike that can significantly increase your value. Maybe to some people, Colin, but then again, something like that, where I see people paying extra... First of all, you've already probably heard my rant about the whole so-called emergency release thing, that I think that's complete BS, and no collectors should be buying it anyway, or no collector should pay any real premium for it. But the fact that some people are paying extra for a weak strike, that just blows my mind. A weak strike is bad. I want coins with full strikes. I want coins that are minted the way they're supposed to be minted. I don't want a defect or a misstruck coin that's wrong, that doesn't show the full detail that we want to see on our coins. So the fact that some collectors are out there paying extra for a weak strike, that's just a whole nother level of craziness on that issue as far as I'm concerned. But I understand there's people doing it, and they're doing it for speculation, and they're doing it to make some money. That's fine and all, I guess. But as a collector, I don't want that. Not interested at all. Yeah, Lima already got it in quotes, because Lima knew exactly where I was going. Knew exactly where I was going with that. In CoinGeek's most recent video about the 2020 coin of the year, some people in the comments said the 2020 ASE emergency release. You disliked every... Oh, come on, Lima, you don't have to go that far. I mean, and you know what? A lot of it, and all the people that are saying that, not all of them, but a lot of the people that are saying that, might be, you know, full-on great collectors, and they're just being sold by a lot of marketing. Believe me, there's a lot of marketing people in this. You know, think about where a lot of collectors start. They start on Home Shopping Network. You're flipping through the channels, you see Mike Mezak or one of those guys, you know, ranting and raving about the latest, greatest thing from the mint and how, oh, it's so limited, and even though he's got a couple thousand of them to sell, and it's going to be worth so much more, and oh gosh, if he could buy them himself, he'd buy thousands of them, and he goes through coin shows all over the world to try to find stuff to bring to you at home. And yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of us get interested in coins. It's all based on the salesman and the salesmanship of some of these people. And Sometimes they're selling us things that are good. Sometimes they're selling you a bill of goods, you know? It's a big pile of manure we got here, don't we? Oh, we're gonna do some parkour. Let's do some parkour. How do I jump? Jump is X, okay. Can I jump onto the roof? What do we think? Can I make that jump? I think maybe I'll have to get a running jump. Parkour! Okay, let's try to do this. Oh. Alright. I wasn't running. I forgot to hit run. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Okay, let's... Oh, no, it doesn't let you run and then jump. I mean, it lets you run and then jump, but... I mean, yeah, maybe I could get that to work. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to practice that sometime. What about... Let's see here. Have I dealt with Conejo Valley coins and stamps in Thousand Oaks, Daniel? Yeah, I go there often. I mean, not often, but they're like... I could be there in 10 minutes if you want to meet up. I could be there in 10 minutes. I'm in Oak Park, right on the Ventura County line, right there in Ogora Hills, right up the road. I don't even have to get on the highway to go to Conejo. 1922D, weak strike is such a boring hard... Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. Some people like it, though, I guess, for whatever reason. You nominated a Rwanda Mayflower 1 ounce. I don't know if I've seen that one. Need to get the 2020 Ws. Got interested in getting some sets as kids. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people get interested because they see that stuff on TV, and unfortunately, most people overpay, but at least it exposes a lot of people to the hobby, and... I mean, that's why, you know, these guys with the clickbait videos, it's not all bad. I mean, it's mostly bad, but they are bringing a lot of people that would not usually click on a coin video to say, wow, let me click on that, and then, yeah, they're going to get disappointed when they find out that the guy that they first learned about coins from was just in it for himself to get clicks and views, but then maybe after getting exposed a little bit, they'll like it enough to actually learn from people that care about the hobby. So it's not all bad, because they are bringing some new people in, but I don't know. Nice, in Oxnard, that's where you go typically. Yeah, I don't... Which is the coin place in Ventura? Because I know back, like, years ago, they had Ket's Coin Castle, and I would go down there every now and then. I didn't know they had another shop in Ventura other than that. Or I guess that was in Oxnard, was Ket's Coin Castle. Because I know that closed down a few years ago. And Daniel, there's another one. If you're going to come all the way out to Conejo, you just go, what, another 2 exits right on Canaan Road. The Canaan exit is a Gold Coast coin now. They used to be in Woodland Hills, but they moved out of there a few years ago, and now they're right on Canaan, right at the Canaan exit. Gold Coast coins. So there's 2 shops there. You could play against each other. You could call them both and see what they're paying for them. No such thing, Alfred. No such thing as an original Bancroft Morgan roll. They didn't roll coins back then. There's very few rolls from that era, let's say. Especially if you're talking about pre-1921 Morgans. They just didn't roll coins. They bagged coins. So anybody saying that they got an original Bancroft roll of Morgans doesn't know what they're talking about, or they know what they're talking about, and they're committing fraud, in my opinion. It's possible that maybe some bank somewhere along the way maybe did roll coins, so it's not, I don't want to say that with 100% certainty, so let's just say 99.99% of the people doing that would be committing fraud and whatnot. So it's possible there is some original roll from some bank that did roll coins somewhere along the way. Who the hell knows? But, Pacific Coast coin in Ventura, huh? Okay. Yeah, so it's you know where Wood Ranch is, right at the Canaan exit? You got like you got the Right there, it's on the south side of the freeway, right there at the 101, and it's right next door to the Burger King, right there at that exit. If you know where that is, but if you make it to Wood Ranch Barbecue, it's too far. It's like right next door to Burger King at the Canaan Road exit. And really, if both of those give you nowhere near what you think it's worth, based on what you see the same exact thing you have selling on eBay, minus 20% because of all the fees and the BS of having to sell it and the pain in the butt factor, if they won't even give you close to it, let me know, and I could try to sell it for you if you don't want to deal with it, because if you're that close and you're driving by anyway, give me, and I'm driving to the post office right there on, you know, down Canaan and right there on the 101. I got to go there every day anyway to go to my P.O. box. I could meet you up sometime. Tell me when you're driving by. Give me the coin. I'll sell it for you, and you know, I'll just take a few % fee, you know, whatever. Or if you're willing to sell it for, you tell me what they're willing to pay, and if you think they're not even close, send me an email and say, Kittle, these guys only offered me this. I think they're worth this. Maybe I'll pay somewhere in between if I agree with you, and I could beat their price, you know. I mean, if it's, even though I don't like that coin, I think it's way overpriced for what it is. I don't like the fact that the Kittle rant on the reverse proof Silver Eagle, the enhanced reverse proof 2019S. I don't like the fact that the U.S. Mint even made that coin with the artificially low mintage. If I think it's something that I can quickly make a few bucks on and also help somebody else get rid of something they don't want, I'll do it. I don't have to like every coin I sell. You know, I don't think I've been to Pacific Coast coin. I thought there was a Pacific Coast or something similar like that in Simi Valley. I know I've been to that, but maybe it's the same guys or maybe just a similar name. But I haven't been to that in a long time, because I just remember going into that shop in Simi Valley and it just looked like they were more like gold buyers, and they had a few proof sets and nothing really interesting. Oh, Lima says have to go for a half hour. I'll probably still be playing. Yeah, that's the plan. I don't know if I'm going to stream again until 2 a.m. my time, but probably for the next half hour. That's, you know, not 100% sure, but we'll see. Super late to the topic, but if you like trying to look up the Machine and Mills coppers, I have seen those in the Red Book. I haven't owned any of those, but I know a little bit about them. I've seen them. You'll check in with them. If not, definitely let me. Yeah. Yeah, just all over my coin channel is, and on my website and in my about page and all that is, my email address is everywhere. So, and so is my phone number if it's easier just to pick up the phone. But bought it for the opportunity to flip it and got a 60. So yeah, if you bought it and you're in it for 65 bucks, sell it to me for 100 bucks and then let me make some money, man. You'll be making like more than 50% on your money. Well, not if you paid to get it graded. No, I'm just kidding with you. No, like I said, if we look at eBay and if yours is graded, is it PCGS or NGC? We can look that up. We can see what like the last 10 have sold for pretty easily. We'll know what the eBay sales are at. Again, have to minus out the fees and everything. So we'll know what I'll probably be able to get on eBay if I had to sell it. Now, I don't want to pay exactly what I'm going to get because there's no point in doing it. I want to make a little bit too, but I don't even really want to be selling that coin and dealing with it, honestly. But if Gold Coast and Caneo won't even pay you close to that number, then there's some room in the middle there to where I could probably beat out their price by a bit, knowing that, yeah, I'll be able to pay that price to you, and then go through and quickly sell it on eBay and still probably make 25 bucks, 50 bucks, 75, whatever it ends up being. You know what I mean? I mean, another option is that I would just take the coin from you on consignment, then I could list it on eBay, whatever we think, and then whenever it sells, I'd get you the money after all the fees, and then I'd take a fee of like 10% or something as a consignment fee. But I wouldn't do that really just on one modern coin. Usually I do that just on more expensive coins that I just can't afford to buy from the customer, or the customer just doesn't want to sell me, wants me to sell for them to get a better price. But if I can help you out, Danielle, I'll try to, one way or another. Alright, so we got that going on. What are we going to plant in that field over there? Let's just see where we're at. We've harvested 2 fields of soybeans. We got a whole nother field to go. How many soybeans are we up to now? We got 100,000 liters of soybeans. So after we get another field in there, it's a smaller field, so we'll have 140,000 liters or so pretty quickly here. We already got 2 fields of canola planting. The one we're really short on, and this is all stuff we really don't grow anyway over there, we're short on barley. Do I want to plant a field of barley? I'm not thrilled about it, but I guess I will. Because, I mean, we can make money on it. And we can enable the straw swath and then pick up some straw too and either use it or someday sell it if we wanted to. So, yes, I will plant a field of barley. So let's get our John Deere tractor. Nope, I keep forgetting. We don't use our John Deere tractor for this anymore. We use the case with the tracks pulling the big rig, because this is so much more power. Looking at the prices, you have more... Wait, what is it? Looking at the prices, you'd rather have more ounces than that coin. Yeah, sure. And that's the thing, too. I mean, I don't even have to give you cash. I probably have silver, and I could maybe, if all you're doing is wanting to trade it for silver, and that's something you could also mention to the shops, too. It's like, when they give you the price and say, you could also, and if you know that, wow, they're really lowballing me, say, would it make any difference if I'd take silver in trade or something? Would that get me any more, or is that like, maybe they would give you a little bit, but I don't know. But I mean, I always got stuff too if you just want to take some silver in trade. I mean, I don't know if I'll have exactly what you would want, but I might be able to. Who knows? Wait, you want to plant a field of rare coins? Dude, that'd be sweet. Well, I want to metal detect these fields and see if there are any rare coins buried. I want to go to Northern Ireland and metal detect. I'm in Southern California near Los Angeles, so if I metal detect places, I mean, it's possible I can find some older like Spanish and Mexican coins, but mostly I'm just finding stuff that was lost in the last few years, or last 50 to 100 years tops. But in Northern Ireland, I mean, we can find some, like, real stuff. Now, I know the rules in England, and probably the same there, is like, if it's in the ground and you can find Roman coins and stuff even. It's crazy, but if you find that kind of stuff in the ground, I think it pretty much belongs to the government or the Queen and then the museums. And basically, you have to go to the museum first, tell them what you found, and then they get to look at it and decide if they want it. And then after a certain amount of time, if they decide they don't want it, then you get to keep what you found. I think if they decide they want it, you might get a little bit of a finder's fee or sharing it somewhat. But it's not like you just get to keep it right off the bat. Because I've had friends that have gone to Great Britain to metal detect, and when they go there for their trip, on their, they can't just, I didn't check if this needs lime. It does not need lime. Okay, good. I didn't screw up this field. But yeah, when they go there for their trip, they can't bring their stuff home. They get it mailed to them like 6 months later or something like that, after it's been all approved and cleared by the government that they don't want it for museums. Barley, you can tell this is a German game. Yeah, a bunch of barley, and yeah, I'm surprised we're not brewing beer too, right? So you're confused by those. They're at 60 and 200. I don't know what you mean. They're confused by those. They're at 60 and 200. Oh, if you're looking right now, they're selling. You mean the enhanced reverse proof 2019 S's? You got to look at completed sales too. There might be some that are for sale with a current bid of, what do you call it, of only $60. But I doubt they're selling at that price. If they were just selling for the one we're talking about, Daniel Roberts thinks it's around $800 or $900. So again, so for example, if you sold it for $800 on eBay, there's probably going to be close to $100 of eBay fees, because if you sell it, now here's where me as the dealer, where I get a little bit of an edge because I have an eBay store, where me as the friendly guy on YouTube, I'm going to be honest and upfront, when I would do this anyway for people, is you selling it on eBay without an eBay store, I think your fees are close to 11-12%. So on an $800 coin, you're paying $100 in eBay fees. Me with a coin store, I don't pay the same fee. So I actually get a little bit better of a deal selling. I think mine is closer to 8% or so on a coin like that. So if I sell the same exact thing, basically, and that's a way that they help sellers with eBay stores make a few bucks, because I can convince you, look, it'd cost you $100 in eBay fees, and then now some more shady sellers, or more, I guess shady's the wrong word, but people that just don't share as much information would say, yeah, so I'm going to have to pay that same $100 fees, would be inaccurate, because I don't have to pay that same $100 fees. I might only have to pay $60 of fees to sell that. Something like that. But then again, I'm also paying, I think, $25 a month to have an eBay store, so I am paying a little bit, but anyway, and then you'd have to pay when the person buys, there's 3% PayPal fees, because everybody pays with PayPal, so there's another $25, so if you sell for $800, you're going to net about $675, plus you got to pay shipping, you got to do at least priority mail. If you don't have insurance, you probably should get insurance, say $15, so you'll net about $660 on an $800 sale. That's the rough in my head math. I don't know if you could probably squeeze a few bucks if you shipped it a little cheaper and took the risk not insuring it. I wouldn't recommend that, but yeah, the enhanced reverse, right? Oh, you were on the emergency stuff? I'm guessing prices on that are going to go to nothing pretty soon, and very little premium, but I know there's people paying up for them, but it's a bunch of crap. Never sold on eBay, don't know, yeah. Well, that's the thing, if you've never sold, you would probably have some, if you bought on eBay, you probably have feedback, so it's not like you'd be selling from a zero feedback account, unless you've never bought on eBay either. But yeah, a lot of times people will look at your sales history and they'd be like, it might not be, if you were doing a straight up auction, they'd be less likely to just bid from you. And see, what I would do is, if I end up having to buy this coin from you, and notice how I say having to buy the coin, because again, it's not something I'm looking forward or have to buy or want to buy that much, but I will. I mean, especially if I know I can make a few bucks, sure, why not? And that one's not a horrible coin. I just really hate that the mint made it, but I do like the Silver Eagles, and I think it's a beautiful coin. I think it's way overpriced, but I probably wouldn't list it as an auction. I would list it as a buy it now, probably for at least $100 over the going auction rate. I'd list it as a buy it now or best offer, because I know there's people that probably want it right now and don't want to wait the 3 or 7 or 5, whatever days that are left in all these auctions. Or there's going to be people that have been trying to get one in the auction for $800, and they keep getting outbid by somebody, and they're getting frustrated, and they're just going to finally go to my listing and just click buy it now. Or they're going to send a best offer for the same price one that just sold. So, I mean, that's how I usually do. I just list things buy it now or best offer, because I don't like doing the auctions as much. But Brody, how you doing? What's good? We're farming, harvesting some sunflowers right here, and we're also planting barley right as we're finishing it. That is what we're doing, and we're chatting about some coins, because my other channel's the coin channel, and seems to be what we talked about. Party Pickle's back. Where you been, Party Pickle? We missed you. Now it's a party again. Colin says if you're on Reddit, they have coin sales area. You can basically ask what you want plus $8. Same thing happens on Facebook. There's a bunch of groups, but then you're dealing in the Wild West. You have no idea who you're dealing with, and there's no protections for anybody. I mean, even on eBay as a seller, it's a little scary. If you buy a gold coin from me on eBay, and I mail it to you, you pay me through PayPal, I mail it to you, you sign for the package and everything, you could theoretically tell eBay you never got it, or that I sent you a box of rocks. And if you cry enough to eBay and PayPal, they're more likely to believe you than they are me as the seller. And you'll get your money back, and I'll be out my coin and out my money, because they'll suck it right out of my bank account automatically. And that sucks, because eBay is very much in the buyer's favor. So as a buyer, 100% safe to be buying stuff on eBay, even for people with very little feedback, as long as you're following the rules and you're paying by PayPal. And worst case scenario, if you pay by PayPal, I always recommend you don't pay with a balance, especially if it's someone you're buying from someone you don't know or you don't really trust. If you buy through PayPal and fund it with a credit card, you have like another level of protection. So you have eBay that will protect you under their rules. You have PayPal that will protect you under their policy. And if something happens where you get screwed by a seller and eBay and PayPal won't make it right, all you do is call your credit card company and say, hey, look, I bought something with my credit card and they never sent it to me. And then you can do a credit card chargeback. Now that's against PayPal rules to do that. They might ban your account. But hey, let them ban your account if it's enough money, you know. But you're protected through your credit card too. So I always recommend buying stuff on eBay through PayPal, but funding it with your credit card if you can. So Brody is getting some Moda. Okay. Had to shower and take care of some other coin stuff. Kittle got game. You did send me a box of rocks in the form of Canadian beer. It was that's basically what that was, right? Was it a little heavy? Now can you imagine me with 25 packages like that, having to haul them out to my car, and then when I get to the post office, out of my car into the post office, and then how the look on my postal workers' faces when I'm dropping 25 of those off on the counter for them to deal with? Yeah, they didn't like me that day. Mods, okay. I see. I was like wondering what that was, but... Now, have you used a lot of the mods before, Brody? And I guess either way, whether you have or haven't, do you have any that you strongly recommend that I check out? I mean, the ones when I finally get done with all the things I want to do on this map, and it starts getting a little bit more repetitive and boring than it already is, I'll eventually probably go play on the Fellsburn map a little bit. And I know I'll probably do the government subsidy mod just to get me a bunch of money, so I don't have to worry about farming with the little stupid garbage tractors to earn that money like I did on this. Which helped me learn the game, and I do appreciate that time that we spent doing that. But I want to jump right into the good tractors and the big fields from the start, so I'm going to probably cheat and put a bunch of money, so money won't be a concern. And then I probably won't be doing too many of the contracts, because I won't need the money. Other mods I'm thinking of is probably the sale point for bales. I hate having to go all the way to the ranch to sell bales of stuff, so I'll probably put that. It's like a mod where you can just put a little building at your farm to sell stuff, like the bales. That one seems like one. I'll probably do the similar thing. There's like a fertilizer sell station you can put to where you don't have to go to the store to fill your fertilizer tanks. I think that'll be helpful. Your mail carrier, who's also wanting to complain just about the weight of the one box. Yeah, Party Cook, you imagine what my guy did with 25 of those? Yeah. But I just smile and say, hey, look, I paid full postage on all those, so the way I look at it is job security for all you guys. And they just smile and go, yeah, sure. I'm like, okay. 20 pounds. It was, well, Alfred's, yours is 20, because you got two. It's not 20, I think, because I was concerned when I dropped yours off, because when you ship Priority Mail International in the big boxes, you're limited to 20 pounds. So I actually had them weigh it just to make sure it was under 20 pounds, because I didn't even weigh it. I just figured it was under 20 pounds. And I think it was 13 pounds. So yours is 13 pounds for two of the groups. And have you, and Alfred, now that we're on that subject, have you received that? I can't remember if you told me that, or I don't think you told me. Or I might have missed it if you have, or have you checked tracking on that to see if it's even in Canada, or maybe it's in Latvia? Alfred R. is outside of the U.S. He is in Canada. The Anderson DLC, you recommend that? Okay. Is that, and I'm guessing that's just a bunch of different tractors and whatnot. Let's see, that's more sunflowers. So we're loading up on our sunflowers here. But I want more sunflowers. I think we got another field of soybeans. We're going to do a big field of barley here. Next up, I mean, what I keep spending money on other stuff, which is good and all, but next I got to get a forage harvester. I want to start chaffing up the corn and making bank on silage. That's what we got to do. I mean, we got to. I mean, that's what you do. Bale wrapping equipment and other things, that's what it is? Okay. We'll check that out. I mean, I've been cutting the grass around the field and turning that into silage, and it gets you a little bit, but I don't know. But that's what we did last episode too, is we got, we started selling the pig slurry to the biogas, and turns that, not only does it turn that into money, which is nice, but also you get to take the digestate out of the biogas plant and then use that as fertilizer. We just started, we got the equipment to do that. We haven't really done it. Blame Canada, right? $500,000 is $1 million worth of yeah. And like I said, I I didn't do it on stream, but since the last time I streamed and since I started streaming today, I got on for like maybe an hour that I had to kill, and I just basically cut all the grass around field number 7, just around the outside, just like the 2 trailer park girls that go around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. I cut the grass, and that was like 80,000, was it? No, it was almost 2, well here, let me just cycle through. Where's my, truck? Let's take a look at what we got in there fermenting. Because all that is just the grass, and we'll probably even be able to see where we mowed. Let's take a look. Let's look together. So yeah, all this grass, just right here, just this little area, right around the field, all the way around this field number 7 to our, and we got the full grain tank right to our left. So we're going to go in here and see what we got out of that. It was like 3 or 4 wagons full. So this pile right here is just the grass from around one field. 52%. I can't remember how many liters it is, but I think it's like 180,000 or something like that. But I know it's not going to sell. I mean, I think I've done it before, and it sells for like $60,000 or something like that. So 60 grand just for cutting the grass, that's not bad. And then, of course, putting it in here and covering it up and waiting, but it's at 52% right now. But the way you ought to also think about it, not only did you get whatever you said, the $1 million worth of silage, but then part of that, when the biogas plant converts that and processes it and pays you, some of that you can then, the byproduct is the digestate you get out of this pipe right here, and you can use that as fertilizer. So not only did you get the $1 million, but I'm sure it brewed up a bunch of free fertilizer for you too, so it's even more money than you get paid, which is nice. Nice job there, M&M. No, it's Shady. Everybody wants Shady. Nobody wants Marshall no more. He created a monster. Isn't that how that song goes? Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Alright. That's what Alfred says. Kittle got game. You mean leaders of cola? Yeah. That's the other thing I really wish you could change in this game. And you know what? I'm going to double check the options. Let's check the pigs real quick. Oh, we're doing good with the pigs. Check the options one more time before I do another Kittle rant. Fuel usage, helper refills, lime. It's not under there. We'll just check one more place. So I have monetary unit has switched to dollars, so it's not on pounds or euros. We're on dollars. Measuring units on miles, not on kilometers. Areas on acres. Okay, they don't have an option for it, so I don't like how this game measures everything in liters. When I buy a cola, I guess we get liters of cola, right? Party Pickle, we get liter cola. But when I buy corn, I don't buy 5 liters of corn, or I don't buy a liter of corn, or a liter of sunflowers. It's just not the way we do it in America. I wish there was an option to change that as well. But I guess that calculation is just so much in this game. Maybe that it would just change too much to change that measure of unit, or unit of measure, sorry. Because unless they've changed things in the last 20, 25 years since I grew up in the farm areas, we go by the bushel in America. It's bushels. How many bushels of corn, how many bushels of soybeans you have, and we don't do liters. At least not that I'm aware of. Liter is French for give me some effing cola. Exactly. Exactly. Do we have liter cola? It's for a cop? Oh man. That's great. That's good stuff. Another angry email. Yeah, we do bushels, so I have no idea what... This thing just filled up with 14,100 liters of sunflower seeds. No idea what the hell that even means. But if you told me how many bushels that was, I'd know. But I think the reason they don't do that is because if you go into the pricing here that they do everything on, these are all based, the prices are based on per 1,000 liters. So if they'd have to change all the pricing in this, and maybe it would just be too much of a... They want to be able to use the same prices whether you're playing in Europe with the different, you know, kilometers, or, you know, the different, whatever it is, I don't know. Or whether you're playing with euro or pound, and I guess they didn't want to change all of that. It's a strongly worded email. I forgot what it was, but I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, I actually had Alfred, I dictated a strongly worded email to somebody for Alfred to write up for me, and I forgot what that was all about. But yeah, we got into it. We wrote that strongly worded email. Sometimes it's got to be done. Good old Germany, huh? Well, the funniest thing, Tryhard, is this game's made in Europe, and I think it's a German-made game, so this here's Ravensport, the American map. So this is what Germans think America is like, apparently, so. And then the German map is what Germans think Germany's like, which they should probably have that pretty accurate, but there's some stuff in this game that just is, like, weird, you know, like the American map. Like, you go into your house and, like, it just looks like a disaster area, or like a rundown bachelor pad. Like, that's not the way American farmers live. You know, it's like, come on. Or the farm you first start out with in Ravenport. I'm sorry, I just had to adjust my mic there. Has like a little junkyard out front, a little fenced-in area with like a junked-out car and like garbage like in front of your... Like, all Americans don't have like a junkyard in front of their house. You know, all Americans don't have 3 surfboards in their living room like I do if I go into my farmhouse right here in this game. Planting grass on the road. Oh, that's what the letter was. Yeah, we were going to do a letter until I was able to fix it by planting dirt under the road. That's right. There was a strongly worded email being drafted. The houses are so dirty. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a couple dirty couches. How about the kitchen table you get in your house here in the U.S. map? It's a little tiny kitchen table, and there's 2 like folding lawn chairs as your table chairs. It's like not even a real kitchen chair. It's a folding lawn chair, and one of them has a seat cushion, and the other doesn't. So like, it's just weird. And of course, they keep missing this one sunflower right there. The helpers do. I don't know why he doesn't want to harvest that one sunflower. So it gets when you hire the workers. That's what you get. You want to move to Germany or America in a few years. Yeah? How old are you, Tryhard? If you don't mind sharing. If you do mind, then that's fine too. Like, bruh, exactly. Well, that's the thing. My friend, he showed me, he plays on the German map, and I was watching him stream. He's like, hey, check the German house out. And he's been to Germany. He says, this actually looks like a real German farmhouse. And he said, like, the kitchen, like, the area where, like, the table and the benches and everything, the kitchen table set up, and says, looks just like it does in his, you know, in a friend's house that he was at, and everything. Says, and it's real nice and a nice little house, and very accurate, but, yeah. It's pretty funny. Hey, we're up to 2,833 comments in our stream now. PlayStation's still just running that number up on us. So you're 15. So yeah, what are you thinking? Like maybe when you do college or something, you're thinking about studying abroad, or do you think you want to permanently move? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it just like maybe for college you want to go somewhere else, or is it like a permanent kind of thing? And then you say like something like you want to maybe go to Germany. That I have not been to Germany myself, but I know it's a pretty good-sized country. But when you talk about moving maybe to the United States is huge. So like, I mean, you'd have to have some sort of an idea of where in the United States you'd go, because like, believe me, it's like we got 50 states, you know, but they're not all different, but some of them are very different. I wouldn't say it's like 50 separate countries, but some of the areas of the United States, it's like a total different country than others. Like if you'd end up going to Kansas versus Montana versus Vermont or Florida or California, all those are like totally different places that are, you know, not even close. So. You don't own 3 surfboards? I don't own 3 surfboards, Alfred. Well, let me think about this now. If I count what I have in Hawaii at my parents' and at my sister's house, I still don't own 3 surfboards. Sorry, I do not. Alright, let's dismiss this worker, because for some reason they have really tough times just doing this and turning around real fast. And then lowering and turning on the stuff. Just going. Trying to use your French, not German. Well, maybe you should go to Quebec if you want to use French. They all speak French in French Canada. You've been doing some harvesting, that's all I know. 12 people up in the channel and up in the chat right now. Anyway, I just want to, again, hope that you guys all had a great day today, and hope that you're going to have a nice Friday. Anybody got any big plans for Friday? If it's already Friday for some of our viewers. For many of our viewers, because it's 20 minutes until Friday for me. don't know if I got any big plans. I mean, I do need to get some work done. I got several coins that I need to get imaged, do videos of them, and either probably get up on my website. I need to update my website. I haven't done that in quite a while, which is really behind on that for whatever reason. French, you're made to learn, so you have to learn French? Oh, wow. See, here in America, at least where I grew up in Illinois, right just south of Chicago, and when I went to high school there, we had to learn a foreign language in high school. We had to do, I think we didn't have to study all 4 years of high school, but we had to do 2 years of foreign language, and we were given a choice. It was either Spanish or French, I think, was our choices, and almost everybody picked Spanish. So there were like several Spanish classes, and then like one French teacher. So, but yeah, we had to do at least 2 years of a foreign language. And then in college, there was no foreign language requirement, I believe, as long as you got done whatever you were supposed to do in high school. Because some areas, you know, some different states probably didn't have the same requirements that we had in Illinois. Daniel Roberts is going to the DMV to renew the license and registration. Woohoo. See, I thought they canceled that. So have they opened up to where you can do that now? Because I know, like, if your stuff was expiring in the last few months, that they didn't force you to go do it. Like, because they didn't want people going into the DMV spreading all kinds of diseases and stuff. You had to study 2 languages, French and Latin. See, I took a Latin class in college just because. But we were never forced to do any of that. But Kobe Lamb, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Hope you're doing well. You would have enjoyed and learned more French if the teachers were not. Yeah, that's I guess goes with anything, Alfred, any subject. But foreign language probably is one of those that having a good teacher probably makes things a lot easier. So we'll finish planting this barley. Actually, we'll hire our worker because they do straighter lines and less frustrating. And then it allows me to read the chat when the worker's driving. They opened up just this week. Okay, cool. The DMV. And this guy stopped working right there. Let's see where he goes. I'll have to come back and finish that corner myself. It's no problem. Yeah, I thought my license was expiring soon, but for some reason I just had the years mixed up, but I got another year on mine. Hopefully it's another one where I can just do it by mail and not have to go in and do it. I think every other time or something like that, you can just do it by mail without having to go in and get a new picture or whatever they make you do. I don't even know why they have to make you go in half the time. But yeah, at least here in California, the DMV, everybody gives it a bad rap, but the last few times I went, it's been no problem, because as long as you make an appointment in advance, so as long as you have the appointment, you can skip ahead of everybody sitting there waiting, as long as you show up on time. Hey, Joao. Oi, he says. Joao Pedro. Very nice. Hope you're doing well. We're just doing a little bit of Farming Simulator 19, planting some barley. Actually, our worker that we're watching here do this, that I hired, is not wanting to get all the way to the edge of the field. I guess they're scared of going off the cliff here, which rightly so. It's right on the edge. You're smarter using computer software and technology. Okay. So try hard. If you were to come to the United States, do you know what area of the United States you're interested in? Because I can talk you out of it, believe me. No, I'm just kidding. Just curious. Okay, so we got all this going. And eventually we'll be harvesting the soybeans over there. Let's just give a little check again. It's been a little while since we checked if there's any contracts out there that we'd like to take a look at. Oh, there's a bunch of contracts in here now, but look at all these. Okay, we got under almost all fertilizing contracts. Okay. I mean, I guess we could go make some money doing some fertilizing contracts. That's easy. There's one harvesting contract here, way down field 18. Eh. I mean, we could go bang out a bunch of these easy ones that are all next to each other, but we really don't need to anymore. Really, one of the main reasons I was doing the contracts, Washington or New York? And by Washington, do you mean Washington, D.C., the capital, or do you mean Washington State, where Seattle's at? So, two different Washingtons, for sure. One of the main reasons we were doing these contracts is to get up to the 100 contracts to unlock the trophy for getting 100 contracts or more done. And we've done that. So I'm going to fire this worker because it's kind of pissing me off that they're not going where we want to go. So I'm going to lower this, turn it on, and I'm going to finish this little area myself and clean up the areas they missed. So we don't need the... So now it's just about earning extra money. I don't care about the number of contracts. So there's really little incentive to go do the contracts on the little tiny fields down where you start the game. At least I don't think there is. I mean, there might be something I'm missing there, but Washington, D.C., okay. I guess it would depend on what kind, like if you were going to come here for school, it would depend on which school, of course, and it would depend on what kind of stuff you want to study, would be what I would think, is where I would recommend you look for. But I mean, I would guess all else being equal, I'd tell you look towards New York over D.C. New York is just much bigger city, much more variety, much more, you know, way more things to do, and DC is much more focused on, you know, just all politics and government. And so if you stay in DC and you go to school in DC, you have more of a chance of ending up in government, which is that if that's what you're studying, you want to study politics, government, or whatever, anything related to that, maybe that's good. But New York is just, you know, 10, 20 times the size of DC. It's more expensive than DC, but both of them are expensive. But I guess all else being equal, I would probably say, New York. And really, New York ain't that far from DC, so if you're in New York anyway, you can always visit DC, or if you hate New York, you could always change your mind. I mean, it's not that hard to move, unless it involves a choice of school, then it's harder to switch schools, of course. Just murdered that bird? No, the bird flew away. Definitely flew away. I don't know. They always seem to fly away. I've never seen myself run one over and kill it, but they always seem to fly away first. But it's I guess maybe I trapped one. I don't know. I missed it. Favorite subject, policy? Okay, well then. Now there's a lot of that. There's a lot of good school and stuff. I'm sure the schools in New York have great programs on stuff, but if that's a thing that you plan on being part of, there's just way more opportunities. Not just, and remember, when you're doing something like that, if you'd come to, the U.S. to study that kind of thing, and then especially if you plan on moving back home to Northern Ireland to live and work after that. Now, if you plan on staying in the United States, I guess it's kind of similar too. So if you're going to school in D.C., it's not just about your school, because it's also about what you're doing while you're in school. Or what you're doing during the summers, because most will get internships or summer jobs, or you should, And there'll be all kinds of opportunities there in Washington, D.C., whether to work for one of the one of the people in Congress, or other government officials, or other private sector like think tanks or lobbying groups, whatever you're interested in. All the opportunities for jobs will be right there. And if you go back home to Ireland, you'll have all that extra experience to be able to tell people back home, yeah, I worked for so-and-so, or I worked for Congressman so-and-so in the U.S. while I was in school. And it's like, in New York, you won't have as many of the opportunities like that if that's the kind of stuff you're interested in. If you're interested in the public service stuff, now if you're interested in more of like the lobbying and stuff too, all that's in D.C. as well, so that might be where it's at. I mean, if you're financially able to do so, you know, I would recommend getting on a plane and visiting first before you make that decision. Go to, you know, if you guys have the cash and the family will do it and you can talk them into it, in one of the summers or whatever, when you have the time, take a week trip or a 2-week trip to the U.S., spend a week in D.C. and spend a week in New York and figure out what you like, what you get a better feel for. Because if you've been to each of those places before, it'd be a lot easier to make that decision of where you want to end up. The bird is with Lady One now. Come on. Trump versus the coin collector? Nah. And you'll find in the U.S., I mean, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of bad press, or, you know, the media talks bad, and puts people against each other, but I'd say the majority of Americans, the great majority of Americans, don't care who the president is. I mean, believe me, I may be really for one president and the other, but I don't like to get into the politics too much, because A, I do a lot of business with people here on YouTube, selling coin stuff, and talking politics is always, you know, not great for business, because you're going to piss off half of your audience or customer base. But believe me, I was fine when Obama was president. I'm fine when Trump's president. You know, certain things, you know, there's certain policies one or the other may have that I totally disagree with, and I wish they would do the other way. But really, the president doesn't have enough power to really change everything they promise and want to do. Because you can see Trump right now. He promises all kinds of stuff. He wants to do stuff, and Congress stops him. When Obama's president, he promises all kinds of stuff, and Congress stops him. Or the courts stop. It's like, they can only do so much, so. But they make it sound so much more dramatic, and they put people against each other. And yeah, people are a little more polarized one way or another. Like when I was growing up, you know, 25, 30 years ago, and like George H.W. Bush was president, yeah, the people that didn't vote for him or were on the other side, they worked with him and we got stuff done. And most people wanted, you know, the Republicans all wanted to re-elect George H.W. Bush, but then Bill Clinton became president. But you know what? The Republicans learned to deal with it, and they worked with Clinton, and they got a bunch of stuff done. But now, they just fight, and they're all against each other. But for a lot of Americans, that's perfectly fine. Let the guys in Washington fight and get nothing done, because as long as they're not passing anything, things are staying pretty much the same. Our taxes aren't going up. They're not wasting more money. Let them fight and get nothing done, because nothing done is often better than them working and spending a bunch of money and getting stuff done. I don't know, so I think, yeah, most people don't care. Now, of course, if you ask them who they support, of course you support one or the other, but it's the people that you see on TV freaking out, and the media really spreading it, making it sound like it's like life or death whether this party becomes president versus this party or whatnot. Or that, like, nobody will be able to survive, and, oh my god, I gotta move to Canada if this person becomes president, or I'm moving to Europe, and no one ever does that. They say they're gonna do that, no one ever does that. It's just, it doesn't really matter. I mean, of course, it matters some. That's why we vote, and that's why we choose one over the other, and that, but really, whether, and in the upcoming election, if Trump gets reelected, America will be fine, the world will be fine. If Biden gets elected, America's going to be fine, the world's going to be fine. Of course, I have a preference. Most people do have a preference, one way or another, about different policy things and different directions they try to push the country, but we all know that whoever gets elected, they're only going to get to enact a fraction of what they're promising and want to do anyway. The bird is with Lady One. Come on. Sarek Farm, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Family was planning to go, but Corona stopped. Yeah, they stopped a lot of stuff this year. It sucks. Because I got family, they live in Hawaii. They live on the island of Maui, and I usually visit them each year, and I haven't been able to visit them, so it's kind of a bummer. So that, and then I usually visit them in the springtime, and then during the summer, I like to go, because I'm in Southern California, I like to go back to where I grew up, Illinois and Missouri, to see a lot of friends and family, and haven't been able to do that either. And also, as part of my coin business, I travel to coin shows all over the United States, so while I'm in Illinois and Missouri, I'll usually hit a couple of the coin shows out that way for business. I also like to travel to Las Vegas a lot, because there's coin shows, and because Las Vegas is awesome, so I always use an excuse to go there. Just haven't been able to do much traveling for business, which has been not good for business too. But it's a bummer. But yeah, hopefully you're able to figure that out, try hard, and what about voting in America? What age? 18 years old to vote in America. It used to be 21, but they passed, I forgot what number amendment, back in the 1970s during the Vietnam War, because they figured, the argument was, if you're drafting 18-year-olds to go fight in Vietnam, they should be able to vote on the politicians making that decision to force them to go fight in Vietnam, which, yeah, if you're old enough to go fight in war, you're probably old enough to vote. Now, there's other people on that side of the argument saying, especially nowadays, 18-year-olds in 1971, when that amendment passed, were a little bit different than 18-year-olds now in the year 2020. It seems like people don't mature as much and people stay at home a lot longer. They don't grow up quite as fast, and they're more dependent on their parents nowadays than they were. So, yeah, 18-year-olds voting now is maybe a little bit different of an argument, but hey, look, you're still eligible to be drafted by your government to go serve. You get to vote. That's the way it is here. Don't know how to use it. What don't you know how to use, Sinfire? Oh, you never understood what the train is for. I'll tell you what the train's for, and let me see if there's a contract right now that I can even show you. I don't think so. The only harvesting I got available is on field 18. So let me just go onto the map and we'll show you. You ready for this? Sinfire, you ready to have mind blown? A friend, Nubs Hunts Treasure, was in my stream the other day while I was doing a harvesting contract, and said, dude, why aren't you using the train? I'm like, what? And then, like, he explained how it goes, and it was game-changing, okay? For example, say there's a contract to harvest sugar beets, which, you know, if you've ever harvested sugar beets or potatoes, it's a lot of driving back and forth with your trucks because they fill up so fast. So if I'm going to do a sugar beet contract on field 11 or field 8, these massive fields, I know I'm going to have to make like 25 trips in my trucks back and forth, and especially if it's to the port grain elevator. So if you have any harvesting contracts that go to the port grain elevator here on Ravensport, it's got to be a harvesting contract where you're delivering to somewhere on the railroad, okay? So I can keep filling my trucks over and over, driving from here down the road all the way, or taking whatever, back and forth, over and over. And it's going to be a lot of labor. Or I can fill my truck right here and take it right to this railroad silo east and dump it in the silo. And then take my truck back, fill it up, and dump it right in the silo. And fill this silo with the potatoes or sugar beets. And then, once I'm at this silo, once the silo's pretty full, I pull the train up to this silo, fill the train cars, and then drive the train over to the port grain elevator to sell. And because the train holds probably, I don't know the exact number, but probably at least 6 to 7 or 8 truckloads full of stuff. So it's basically you drive the train over a couple times instead of taking 20 or 30 truckloads.